naturally presumed that this was just talking about closer to SummerSlam, that it was going to be in a few weeks' time. But actually, no. They're doing something today, and they're doing something from Fanatics Fest. I think they're trying to link it in with Fanatics Fest. And apparently this is going to be Michael Cole on stage doing exclusive interviews with WWE superstars, very similar to the kind of thing we would do, you know, outside of the arenas when they bring people on stage and we speak to them just ahead of a big PLE. Seems like we're doing that now, but obviously just like 2-3 weeks before SummerSlam. So, yeah, a little bit weird, a little bit strange. I think, to be honest, they're tying it in with Fanatics Fest, and I think they're just taking that opportunity. So I tried to find some information on this. Other than the description, I can't really see anything. There is a pinned tweet on WWE's Twitter. It just says, gear up for the big event of the summer with Michael Cole and WWE superstars on the SummerSlam Kickoff Show. And that is that, to be honest. So it starts in an hour and a half. So in an hour and a half, it kicks off. And we'll see what we get. I don't really know what to expect. I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be something worth tuning in for. I'm kind of hoping that they're going to treat this like a proper SummerSlam Kickoff show, and that there's going to be maybe some developments. There was a development after yesterday's Saturday night's main event, which is worth knowing about. And that is that Cody went up to CM Punk. He was very angry. He was very angry about the fact that CM Punk hit him with that belt. So it certainly seems like that was on purpose. And so they've kind of made a bit of a thing out of that, where Cody just got a bit annoyed with CM Punk and the disrespect that was shown after that tag match. But really, other than that, that's it. Other than that, that's the only thing that I've seen, really. I've seen Gunther in a car refusing to kind of talk to an interviewer. The fallout has, not been that big, to be honest. So, obviously, we'll see kind of what comes on Raw. Obviously, we got a decent sized episode of Raw coming up, and now we're just fully focused on SummerSlam. Obviously, there is no other show. Saturday night's main event now out of the way. It's just full steam ahead to the grandest show of the summer. And I must admit as well, I don't really watch like other kind of like YouTube channels when it comes to wrestling news, stuff like that. But I've had a couple of things pop up in my feed that have been like really down on SummerSlam. And I'm a little bit surprised at that, because I think the SummerSlam card looks pretty good. But I'm seeing like Stevie Richards saying this is going to be a disaster and all that kind of stuff. I haven't watched the video. It's probably related to the slow, sluggish ticket sales. We know ticket sales are a bit slow for SummerSlam at the moment, so it's probably related to that. But plenty of negativity around at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good. I really enjoyed last night's stream. I managed to get about 5 hours sleep, so I'm feeling not bad. Certainly need a bit of a coffee to wake up. Been up about half an hour. This is a little early for me. I wouldn't normally be up at this time, but feeling pretty good. I hope everyone out there is feeling good as well. Dormouse, hello, shout out to you. Appreciate it. Dormouse says hit the like if you haven't already. Appreciate it, my friend. I hope you're doing well. SummerSlam week beginneth, said Dad. I mean, it is weird, isn't it, doing it this early? But I'm not down on it. I'll tell you what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping, and it probably won't be, but do you remember WrestleMania 40 when we were building to that? And we actually did a show not even weeks. It felt like month and a half, like 2 months before WrestleMania. We actually did a bit of a kickoff show. And it was the episode where it was a standalone event. And Cody had to make his choice as to, he'd won the Rumble. Who is he going to face? What champion was he going to face at WrestleMania? And I think we did it in the T-Mobile Arena. I think it was T-Mobile. And this is the show where Roman and Rock were on stage, and we had the bloodline graphic, the whole kind of family graphic. And, you know, it all got quite tense. And it was great. I mean, it was like a standalone show. It was a standalone thing. It probably only lasted half an hour. Oh, it might have gone an hour, actually, because I do remember there being interviews with, I think, like Rhea Ripley before. Obviously, the main part of it was Cody choosing who he was going to face at WrestleMania. And The Rock was there, Roman was there. They did that big bloodline graphic and everything. And this is when Cody chose Roman, and it locked us in for him finishing the story. So we have got previous history of doing a show, kind of a standalone show, weeks, months before the actual event, and it being something quite meaningful. This is why I was like, I didn't want to run the risk of not doing this, because sod's law, I'd still be in bed now. I'd miss this, and some quite juicy could come out of it. So I was like, no, better be here for it, actually. Better be here for this one. And because it's a Sunday and we don't have any other streams, don't really have any other excuse, do I? Other than I would normally be in bed around about now. Shapeshifter said, do we think that we could get a triple threat with Sammy, Cody, Punk? We could make an argument that he got screwed over. We could. I don't know that we will. It's a good shout. We could, right? The reason why I say I don't know that we will is because we could absolutely use this as a way of Sammy saying that he's been screwed, and that fueling this heel turn. You know, he feels like the world is against him. He just had to defend his title on Raw when he's not even a Raw superstar. The person he was going to defend against got taken out. And then, of course, he has to deal with a returning CM Punk in Chicago on zero notice. You know, not even knowing about it until he's actually in the ring, waiting to defend his championship like 9 days after winning it. I mean, I think we can all understand the Justice for Sammy shirt. Now he gets an opportunity to get back into a title match, and he gets screwed over by a general manager. I mean, Sami Zayn is getting screwed on a level that is just borderline biblical. So I think they're going to want this to sort of fuel his further descent into madness. I think they're probably going to want this to, you know, fuel that injustice. You kind of undo that if you then put him in this match. So if I've got to lean towards either going to put him in or not put him in, I think they're not going to put him in. I think we're going to continue down this road of him being screwed over, and it's going to be quite interesting to see where we end up as a result. It could be a full-blown heel turn, as we said. It could be that he snaps. Not sure. It's very interesting, though. And I don't know if part of this is us trying to screw him and it's part of like a bigger story, or if it's just happening. It's just he's a victim of these things. It's just, you know, wrong place, wrong time. You know, did they want a big title match for Chicago? And was it just wrong place, wrong time? Or is he being screwed over? You know? Is it a case that Nick Aldis just wanted to get revenge on Gunther and Sammy, I'm sorry, you just took some collateral damage? Or is he being screwed over? Like, it's pretty fun, actually. I kind of like it. Because actually I don't really think he's getting screwed. I think that I don't think they were like desperately trying to get the belt off him in kayfabe. I think they probably did just want a big title match for Chicago. And I think that Nick Aldis just wanted to get revenge on Gunther, but yet Sammy continually finds himself being the victim. So, yeah, there is grounds to put him in the into a triple threat. I'm sure there's a way we could, get to that. But I think they kind of like, and I kind of like as well, this story of Sammy getting sort of screwed over, the whole justice for Sammy thing. A lot of that goes away if you then reward him by putting him in the title match. So I got to lean towards I don't think they will. But there's always a chance, isn't there? There's always a chance. Hello, Abram. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing well, buds. New Tomorrow said, Daze, I don't know if I'm alone, but after last night, I want to put a belt on Nick Aldis. I'm excited for his return to wrestling. You might, I don't know if you're alone. My brain has not gone that far, to be honest. I think for me, it'd be like a step at a time. So you don't really work that way in wrestling. In wrestling, you do have longer plans. They'll know more than likely if this is going to be one and done or if this is going to be something more. There is a chance that at the moment it's one and done, but it's an opportunity for him to show just how good he is and for him to show that there's a real connection with the fans. And listen, if the fans are going to get behind him, start chanting one more match and all that kind of stuff at SummerSlam, it could change their minds if they don't have bigger plans. But I would imagine that they've kind of got an idea if they want to move him away from being a GM or if they're just looking to keep him GM. Or, I mean, it could be that original plans were that Gunther was going to retire Brock, and it could be that the plans have obviously changed, and so we're trying to find something interesting for Gunther to do. It can't be the championships because he was never planned to be around those. It can't be Brock Lesnar because that's now Ober that's got that. So we need to find something interesting for Gunther to do, and someone somewhere seemingly has said, how about Nick Aldis? Is this just one and done for SummerSlam because we need summer? Or is this something bigger? Again, no words, no rumors, so can't say as to where this is going. But I think let's take it a step at a time. For us as fans, let's, get this first match done. I think he's going to look really good, because I was watching him when he was the NWA champion in NWA. We actually did weekly streams back in 2020 of NWA Power. I was really excited about this show. It was a studio wrestling show. So what that means is that it's a TV studio. You've got the audience, right, in one block. Right, they're not all around the ring. They're just on the one side, like for a game show. You got the ring on the studio floor. You've got like an interview area. You had the commentators, and that was it. Like you just did matches and interviews, and it was all in a TV studio. And there is a history of that. I mean, that is kind of how a lot of territories used to operate. Was, they wouldn't just film in arenas. They would also film in TV studios. To my knowledge, it's not part of WWE's history, but it is part of wrestling history. And I was really excited by this because I thought it was such an interesting idea in the modern day to actually do some TV studio wrestling. And the roster was so good. You had Thunder Rosa, you had LA Knight, although he was obviously not going by the LA Knight name, but you had Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints. He was on that show. Nick Aldis was on that show. There was quite a few that were on that show that have gone on to bigger and better things. And it was good. We watched it every week. And the top champion, the number one person in that promotion was Nick Aldis. And he had the NWA championship, which is such a prestigious championship. Really is right up there with like the top titles in the history of wrestling. Obviously lost its way, over the past 20, 30 years. But that belt goes all the way back to the 50s, maybe 40s, goes all the way back, you know. And yeah, we were watching Nick Aldis, fantastic wrestler. And I know when he came in, he wasn't giving up on wrestling. They just didn't have that for him. They brought him in as a GM, so he did GM work. But yeah, if there was an opportunity to actually get in the ring, I think he was interested. I think he was interested in it, and that opportunity seemingly has come along. So yeah, you know, is it going to be a case that he can get his hands on a belt at some point? Maybe. That might be a little bit far down the road, or a bit too far down the road. But I wouldn't be against it. I really do rate him. I rate him a lot. Connor said, Daze, what do we think about CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, both saying heated words backstage after their win against Gunther? I don't know that CM Punk said anything. I don't think I heard CM Punk say anything. Cody got worked up, but then he did get hit in the face with the belt, which I didn't see at the time. But thankfully you lot said, so I was able to find the image, and so it did make it into the breakdown. So this is where you lot really helped me out, because, you know, when I'm talking to the chat, or, you know, looking at social media or whatever it might be, doing scores, writing scores down, doing polls. There's those little moments that can just slip by. So I never saw it. I still haven't watched it back, actually. But there was an image that I found of it where, you know, he kind of seemingly, I don't know if he chucks it over his shoulder or turns around quick, just catches Cody in the face. And, yeah, it just caused a bit of a backstage argument. I mean, it seems a bit of a storm in a teacup. Seems like a whole lot of summer over nothing. But I suppose we've got to do that, haven't we? Now that we're past this tag match, we now need to just get a little bit of heat into this feuds. So, yeah, fine, whatever. I get it. It's not like, it's not the, you know, the biggest thing in the world. It's not like burning down the family home and all that, like Kane and Undertaker. So we'll see. We'll see what heat they can get into this feud now that we're past Saturday night's main event. I've got 2K26 a few days ago, said Roberts. I've already put in 50 hours. Wow. It's such a fun game. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, buds. I don't have it myself. I never really get a chance to play video games too much. But, I mean, it looks great. I think I've been saying quite often that, like, you know, when it comes to wrestling video games, put a lot of time into the 2008 one. And I think it is true. The more time that you put in, the more that you really fall in love with it. I would imagine the same is true here. Like, if you really get stuck into, you know, the story mode, I know there's that island, which looked interesting. I haven't really heard any reviews about it, but it looked interesting. It looked different. The whole island idea. Obviously, there's a lot of unlockables as well. The more you play, the more that you can, like, unlock things. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? The more time you put in, the more you're gonna get out of it. It's full of content. So yeah, I'd imagine it is a lot of fun. I'd imagine it is time consuming as well. I'm sure you can spend many more hours exploring stuff and unlocking stuff and all of that. So have fun. It's been I don't know. Honestly, it could be 2008, the last time I actually did put considerable time into a wrestling game. I think those days are gone for me now, unfortunately. This takes my time. Why did Nick stop wrestling, said Jethrick. Did he get injured or something? I'm not aware that he got injured, so I know that he ended up leaving NWA, and then, you know, I don't know if it was Mickie James, because Mickie James is his wife. I don't know if it was Mickie James that helped him get into WWE. But the other thing as well is, with wrestling, connections, networking, it's really important, because people can always put in good words for you. So Nick Aldis used to work in TNA. So I think he was there when Bobby Roode was there, and when LA Knight was there, and many others were there. So when Abyss was there, you know, Abyss is a backstage producer at WWE now. So is Bobby Roode. LA Knight is a big star on screen. Mickey James is a WWE legend. All of a sudden, he's got connections to WWE. People that can put good words in for him. People that can mention his name if an opportunity pops up. And I don't know quite how it came about, but they obviously were looking for a general manager role to be filled. And somehow he has got that opportunity. So I'm not aware that he closed the chapter on his wrestling, he got a bad injury and he was done or anything along those lines. I think it was more to do with his time with NWA just kind of came to a close, kind of felt like he had done all he could do, and then it was an opportunity came along to actually become a GM in WWE. And you got to make that decision, haven't you? Do I want to keep wrestling? Do I want to, keep working on the indies and stuff like that? Or do I take this opportunity, even though it's not a wrestling position? And sadly, that does happen. That does happen where you have to make those kind of calls. And so, yeah, he took it. He got his foot in the door. He's been there years now. And he's done a great job as well. I think we can agree he's been a brilliant GM. Same with Adam Pearce, actually. I think both of them have been fantastic. And so, he's just kind of done the job. I don't know why they've not looked to use him wrestling-wise before now. There's been many a conversation we've had where people have said, I wish they'd give him a match. I wish we'd use Nick Aldis. A lot of people wanting it to be against Adam Pearce, actually, because Adam Pearce is a former wrestler. And, the feeling was that he could have a match in him. Nick Aldis has got a match in him. So why don't we do GM versus GM and do a story? And I wouldn't have been down on that. That would have been fine. I think Adam Pearce has kind of come out and said his wrestling days are behind him, though. So I think Adam Pearce is someone that's kind of moved on. But Nick Aldis seemingly has not. And now the opportunity has come to actually get in there with Gunther. I would expect Gunther to murk him. I think Nick Aldis is going to give a good account of himself, really good account of himself. It's going to be one of those where the commentator's going to put over, what's going on? What's this? And then they're going to sing his praises about all the things he's achieved and point out that he's actually got, he's a really great wrestler in his own right. I think he'll look good. I think he'll definitely have moments. I think he'll have Gunther in a few difficult situations, but there's no way Gunther should be losing to Nick Aldis. But maybe we can present it whereby Nick Aldis actually opened a few eyes backstage, surprised, the higher-ups with how good he is, and then we can tell a story of him saying, listen, if I could get some more matches, if I could just get some more reps, I can be a player here. I can do something. I know I've got it still in me. I thought I'd lost it, but it's still there. And you could have a really great story there. And then, is kind of get some matches, get some wins, maybe good performance in the Rumble. And I don't know what the end goal would be. I don't know what we'd be working towards if we were to keep going. But I'd be signed up to keep going. I mean, I really like Nick Aldis. I've said before, he's joined us on these streams. I actually did, because NWA Power was not that big of a show, I actually did some, appreciation streams where I was like, guys, I love Nick Aldis. Next week, we're going to do a Nick Aldis appreciation stream. So what we did was the thumbnail was all pictures of Nick Aldis. And we did that week's watch along as an appreciation stream. I really don't know why we've never done this for NXT or anything, but I don't know. Probably because it's so much bigger that it was a little bit more niche. We would probably get probably the same views that we get for Evolve. Imagine our Evolve streams now. We don't have to be doing them. We're not doing them for the views, right? We're doing them because we want to watch Evolve. And if I'm going to watch Evolve each week, I might as well stream it. So, for NWA Power, we started doing just a couple of appreciation streams. We appreciated Thunder Rosa. She jumped in the chat as a result, and we appreciated Nick Aldis, And it was just us going, really like Nick Aldis. And everyone in the chat going, we really like Nick Aldis as well. And that was it. But Nick Aldis actually jumped in and was in the chat. And fun story, which many of you already know, he appreciated the fact we appreciated him. And he jumped in and was like, you know, said thanks and all that. And chatted with a few people in the chat. And actually got Mickie James to come in and say hello in the chat as well. But I was busy. I can't remember if I was watching the show or answering some of your questions or whatever, right? I never saw her. And she had to say something like that. It's a shame that Daze didn't notice me. So if ever you feel ignored, if ever you feel like I don't give you any attention and you get frustrated with the fact I don't get to your comments, just know I did the exact same thing to Mickie James. Yeah? The exact same thing. There is no favoritism here whatsoever. I've done the exact same thing to Mickie James in the past, where I've just completely ignored her as well. So, yeah, I really like him. I've got so much like warmth towards him because of the NWA Power stuff, and also I think he is a great wrestler. I think he is really, really good. He is someone that really knows what he's doing. He's got loads of experience. If you've never watched him wrestle, he carries himself with dignity. He always wore like sharp suits, and you know the carried the belt with honor. And yeah, I mean, he would get in there and put on like a good contest. He was not lost in a wrestling ring. His matches were really solid. So it'll be good. I tell you, him against Gunther. As long as the ring rust isn't obviously too bad, it'll be a. I don't even want to say it'll be a sleeper. I think people know it'll be good, but I can confirm that you know, having watched NWA, which was quite a few years ago now. I mean, it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a really great match. Right. But Daze lives in the UK, so WWE shows are never near him, said William. They do come over here. Couldn't tell you the last time I went to one. Obviously, if it's Raw or SmackDown, I like to stream them. I like hang out with you guys. So, yeah, when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, I'm here for them. But when it comes to the live events, there is an opportunity for me to go. I think the last time I might have gone might have been when WWE did a live event, 2019. And I mean, I've been to NXT since then, a house show in Florida, a couple actually. I've been to a couple of house shows in Florida, but actually main roster was probably a live event at the O2. I went to a live event at the O2, and this might surprise some people, but I only went because Ronda Rousey was on. So Ronda Rousey was definitely a ticket seller because I went to see her. Obviously, I love UFC as well, and we do UFC streams. Ronda I've never seen live, but I've watched many of her UFC fights. So when she came into WWE and they were doing a big show at the O2, house show, and it was like really the selling point was, you know, Ronda's first WWE appearance in the UK. I was like, oh, I really fancy that. She was taking on Alexa Bliss, and I was like, I really fancy that. I've watched Ronda and her UFC work, and honestly, the feelings around Ronda were pretty good. Things hadn't really soured at that point. I think it was 2019. Might have been 2018. But I think it was 2019. And yeah, God, it was good. Yeah, I really had a good time. I wish there was some signed, you know, like they get Cody to sign a load of autographs and they sell them at the merch stand. I wish she'd done some of those. That would have made it even better if I could have got like a £50 Ronda Rousey kind of signed thing. I know people don't like her, and I know she said some negative stuff about wrestling fans, but she's a legend when it comes to women's sport. I mean, she definitely opened the door for women in UFC. And, you know, she definitely played a big role in that. Even Charlotte, Becky would tell you that they don't main event WrestleMania 35 if it isn't for Ronda's star power. So you could say that the whole women main event in WrestleMania 35 only happens because of Ronda. I know Becky was over. I know she was a big deal. But even she says that it probably wouldn't have got over the line of being the main event if it didn't have the Ronda element. So got to say that she definitely was able to bring that star power and open some doors, even if maybe she as a person was not to everyone's taste. So yeah, I did go to London. That's probably the last time, you know, which is pretty bad. But I probably should have gone to like a live event or something since then. There's been opportunity where they've been to Birmingham, but I don't know, even when they're doing live shows, there's always like NXT that we do, or Evolve, or the Wrestling Escape Pod, or do you know what I mean? Unless it's on a Sunday like today, I don't really have I don't feel like I have much opportunity to get away from streaming, so it would mean me missing some, which would be fine. I'm sure people would be okay if I didn't do the WEP 1 week. We didn't do it this week, and that wasn't my fault. I was ready to go, but I got an email from Tommy. Tommy was just saying that, you know, for whatever reason, he wasn't available, and he apologized, and I was like, no problem. We're pretty chilled about that kind of thing. So WEP should be back next week. Right, Daze, how are you? Said Laxo. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling pretty chilled. I kind of like doing these extra bonus streams because obviously there's no real expectation. There's no pressure. Not that I feel pressure anyway, but it's not like we have to go, you know, guys, what's happening today? Do a big breakdown and all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's just like, hey, how are you? How's your Sunday going? Anyone excited for the World Cup final? That's obviously today. So it's pretty chilled. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm probably still a little bit in the process of waking up as well. It's Jamie said, I just made it back. I got from Birmingham. I've landed in the UK. Jamie, shout out to you, buds. Sorry that you was in Birmingham. I don't wish that on anyone. So, Jamie, I hope you're doing well. TJF, hello. Hope you're doing well. Daze, I know you've got superstar figures. Yes. Did you get Beefcake signed like me? I think so. From Wrestling Shop. They've got signed ones on Wrestling Shop. Yeah, I believe I have, actually. I do sometimes go on, you know, to have a look and see if they've got any new ones that are signed. Let us show... Oh. Do you know what? I've just typed it in. And I go onto it that often. It's gone straight to the signed section here. So this is a Wrestling Shop where they've got like some signed figures, and they've got like you can see Rob Van Dam, but they £150 for the signed ones. They've had these up for quite a while now. These signed ones. They haven't had any new signed ones for a while, but that you can. I think the only one that I've sort of yet to get is the Rob Van Dam one. I think, yeah, no, I've got the Rob Van Dam one, the Kurt one, that one. That's the one that I have yet to get. There's a Kurt one that he signed. That's the Ultimate Edition. Have they still got some, or have they sold out of them, actually? He did do... Oh, there it is. No? Yeah, there, that one. That one. That's him signing the Superstars one, so... That one I've still got to get, but yeah, there's the Beefcake one. And there's a Mick Foley one that you can get. They did a Jake one. There's a Jake one. So this is where you can get some signed, like, and of course you can get some others on, like, on eBay as well. I love them, man. This collection is so great. It's honestly my absolute favorite ever. I think I prefer it over the Hasbros. I mean, these are the new ones that are coming. King Kong Bundy. I mean, this guy main evented WrestleMania 2 and, you know, featured quite prominently throughout those early WrestleManias. And then, of course, came back in like the mid-90s as well, had a weird second run. So I actually saw him at a house show in Birmingham in like 94. So King Kong Bundy with the old school shirt. I mean, I love the cloth goods that they have. So seeing this Bundy come in the line, I was like, so good. I love seeing like John and Big Star's newer figures coming in, because I really want this series to live on. I want it to keep going. So I hope there's others that kind of share. So it's great that you've got that, TJF, because I hope there's others that kind of share in this excitement with us and pick these figures up, because I genuinely love them. They're kind of legends, mixture in of some newer stars. Cody's in this line, for example. Bray was in this line. Cena's coming into this line. So it's not just 80s, early 90s, but it is predominantly that. So King Kong Bundy main evented WrestleMania 2. Hillbilly Jim, one of the biggest stars from the 1980s, was in like that rock and wrestling cartoon that they did, the Hulk Hogan cartoon. Obviously, a different version of Undertaker. You've got Mankind. Coco Beware does come with the parrot. Unfortunately, it's in a bag behind him. It's in like this little thing. So it's a shame it's not like on his shoulder in the packaging, because I don't like to take them out. But I mean, we've got Dusty and we've got Jesse the Body Ventura, Demolition. I was so pleased when they came in. When they signed that deal that allowed figures to be made. So good. Steiner Brothers. We haven't had Steiner figures in so many years. In fact, I don't think we'd ever had any Mattel Steiner figures since they took over in 2010. And then we got some Steiner figures like a year ago. Because they finally signed a licensing thing. Hurricane, Nikolai Volkov, pretty big deal back in the 80s. George the Animal Steel, the Iron Sheik, former WWE champion. Ultimate Warrior, Great Muta coming into the line. Jake the Snake Roberts, Diesel, obviously champion in like 95. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Eddie Guerrero, Cactus Jack, Razor Ramon, the Heart Foundation. So good. Big Boss Man, look at that with the shirt. Oh, I flipping love it. I love them. Absolutely love them. So they only started doing them on Wrestling Shop for Series 10. So they've done, I think, 9 series. The other great thing about these, and we're not sponsored by Wrestling Shop, by the way. We were, but I haven't actually spoke to them in a few years. I hope they're doing well. They were always brilliant. But they only release like every few months, like 4 or so. So, I mean, it's not like, if you collect these, it's not, you don't get overwhelmed. Do you know what I mean? Like, just every few months, there's a new wave. And this is it, actually. I don't think there's been any other shown past this. So, it is San Diego Comic-Con soon. And I'm keeping everything crossed that they're going to show some new series of these. These were shown at WrestleMania this year, and they come out in September. As soon as they're out in September, that's it. I don't know what else there is after that, so I'm hoping that at San Diego Comic-Con they've got some more on the way. So yeah, big fan of those. I do need to, like, you know, do a video or something, because I've got I've just got them all stacked. It was when I went to Florida, you know, in 2024, I actually saw them on the shelves in Walmart, and I was just blown away by, I knew I liked the pictures of them anyway. I knew that I liked the series. I loved the packaging. I thought they looked brilliant. But as soon as I actually had one in my hands, I was like, I've got to buy it. I can't remember which one it was, but I was just like, I've got to buy it. It's so good. They're so good. Walmart exclusives in America. WrestlingShop.com over here in the UK. I don't think they're anywhere else. I don't think they're in Smith's. You might find someone else selling them online, but yeah. So yeah, TJF, cool, very cool. Glad that you have got the bug as well. I would go back to the second part of your comment, but it won't let me go back any further. So feel free to. Oh, here we go. Daze. Did you ever get any of the others that are signed? Yeah. I've picked up a few, actually. So I've managed to pick up on eBay a Ric Flair that was signed. And for Christmas, I got a bit of money and I bought from eBay a signed Hulk Hogan one. And the reason why I bought the Hulk Hogan one was because he was alive when these came out. And someone said that they bought it. It was a bit of a gamble because you never know, do you, from eBay? So it was a bit of a gamble, but they said they got it from his shop, and it does have a sticker on the figure that's like from his shop to say that, you know, it was purchased from his beat shop where he went and signed a load of stuff. So I got, I've kind of, and it was a good price as well. Like it was a few hundred, which is expensive, but as you've just seen, it's about 150 if you want to get like the Rob Van Dam signed, or if you want to get the Kurt Angle one signed, it's about £150. This was more than that. I think this was like 250, whatever, but it's Hogan. It looked legit, and I was willing to take the gamble on it. So I got that. I picked up the Jake one as well from Wrestling Shop, and so yeah, there's a few actually that I've managed to get. I think because they only release these figures once every few months, I'm more willing to kind of invest my money. Not that I've got much spare, but like anything that I do think I would spend on figures, I'm willing to put it into this line. Because I mean, like, this is the benefit of not just buying endless Mattel figures. You know, back in the day, I would just buy Mattel figures, and it didn't really matter what they were. I just bought them because they were new. And I knew that I could, you know, do some figure reviews, maybe do some figure videos. It was always good doing the toy hunts. I never really liked doing toy hunts and then coming away with nothing. So, you know, I'd normally go and there'd be new figures on the shelves, and then I'd buy them because I knew I could review them, and, you know, also because they look cool. But to be honest with you, there are many occasions where I've bought figures and I didn't really care for the figure. I've just bought it because it's out, and I felt a bit of a pressure to buy it in the sense of, like, it's for my job. There's lots of times where I'll buy stuff and it's like, well, I'll get it because, you know, it's for the channel. And you sort of start using that as an excuse, really. Yeah, it's for the channel. I'll buy it because it's for the channel, you know? Yeah, I've already got, like, loads of Seth Rollins. I've already got loads of John Cena. But I'll get this one for the channel. And I don't do that anymore. So because I don't do that anymore, I don't mind spending a bit more when it comes to, like, this series. So I have kind of splashed out a little bit, yes, when it comes to, like, the signed ones. And as I said, I need to do a figure video, really, and sort of show them off in a separate video. And I'll give you a heads up as well that Mattel actually got in touch with me the other day, completely out the blue. I have not heard from them in years. I thought they'd just, you know, given up on me because I don't really do figure videos anymore. But I think someone new has took over, and they've got in touch and they've said, would you be interested in this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? And I was like, hello Mattel, where have you been? I was like, yes, that actually arrived the other day. So I do actually have a figure set ready to go, ready to review, that they kindly sent over. That is one of the perks, if you will, of kind of doing this job. Just randomly, companies will obviously get in touch with you and go, hey, would you be interested in this? I do get, like, you know, random stuff, you know, phone cases and stuff like that, which I never take. I never, like, you know, I don't do this for those things. I mean, we don't, you know, the streams could have been sponsored 50 times over. We don't do that. We haven't done that. We don't, like, you know, sit here and talk about Blue Chew and things like this. Yeah, the things that I am interested in, though, is when it is WWE related. and it's something that I think is interesting. And so Mattel is an absolute no-brainer. If they ever get in touch with me, I'm interested. So yeah, they did send the new one over, which is the Cyndi Lauper. I'll show you actually. I'll go down here. I need to figure out how I'm going to present it, but this is what came in. It's the Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano. This is San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's in this TV set like packaging, really nice packaging, and this is what it looks like: the Rock and Wrestling Connection. So you get this in this packaging. I have not looked to see where this is. I think it's going to be on like Mattel Creations or something. But when I do the video, I need to have a look where people will be able to get it, because I don't know that this is hitting stores. But every year they do like a San Diego Comic-Con sort of exclusive where you can go and pick up the figures from, I think, like Mattel Creations. I think it's probably going to be their website. And it's just really a special for San Diego Comic-Con, which is coming up. But that Cyndi Lauper, I mean, to be honest with you, they all look brilliant. I think I've seen better Roddy Pipers. I think it's the facial expression I don't love. So I'm not crazy about the face, but I think there are some swappable heads actually back here. I think there might be some stuff like behind this, but I haven't opened it yet or really dug into it. But it was very, very kind of them to obviously send this over, especially considering I ain't heard of them in years. I think what's happened is someone new has took over, and I think this new person has kind of gone, like, through their database and has found my name and has then gone, I'll send them an email, I'll see if they're interested. And, well, I am. I mean, I still love the figures, as I've kind of said recently. I still love the figures. Just haven't been able to really get out and be doing the toy hunts and everything. So I'm actually really looking forward to, like, getting that open and having a look at them and talking about figures again. So, yeah, that'll be a video. I mean, it'll only be a quick video. I really, need to get the short out there as well, but it's kind of nice, actually. It's kind of nice because it's like, it's going to force me to, like, do some content away from the streams, and it's good. I feel like that's good. That's like, I'll get a short out of it, a video out of it. It's something a little bit different, and it's like, who knows? Who knows what opportunities it opens up, and, if it does well, maybe we can start getting back into doing some figure stuff. I would like to. I do like the Mattel stuff. And as I said, I need to show off those Superstar figures, don't I? It'd be cool if there was an Undertaker signed one. I agree with that. Oh, I'd love to. I'm sure there are. Someone must have bumped into him and got one signed. But, it'd be expensive. And I wish they had an Owen Hart one. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be able to make one, will they? Because he won't be able to. They won't be able to get his likeness license and all of that. Because we know the issues there with his wife. She doesn't really want anything to do with WWE. So, understandable. So I don't think that is the unfortunate thing, really, when it comes to figures, is you can't just make anything. You kind of have to obviously get, like, the licensing agreements and the contracts. So it means that you can't just make an Owen and you can't just make a, whatever you want. This is why we had to wait so long for Demolition, and why we had to wait so long for the Steiners. And it's also why, there's still certain superstars that are, like, missing from the line. But to be honest, it just makes it exciting when they do finally come in. And I'm really hoping we get to see a couple of new series at San Diego Comic-Con. Jackal said, hello. First, Spain or Argentina tonight? I'm obviously hoping for Spain. I think that Argentina have not really covered themselves in too much glory in regards to. I haven't seen much negativity in regards to fan bases, but you know, my timeline, and I don't know if it's just because I'm English and it thinks I want to see Argentina fans acting up, but they're amongst the only fans that I've seen, like, you know, causing trouble and, you know, pushing rival fans around. And I mean, Speeds, I know there was a FIFA investigation into some racial abuse that Speed suffered, and I believe that was at the hands of Argentina fans. So I find them a difficult team to root for. I rate Messi. Who doesn't? You know, amazing. But then you look at like them, you know, pushing players around and all the fouling that was going on in the England game and everything. And I don't know. They're a really hard team to root for. So I'd like it to be Spain. If it's Argentina, I ain't going to cry about it. You know, it's whatever. It's got nothing to do with me. It's out of my hands. So, yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't even know when the game's on. I would definitely give the game a glance. Of course I would. I'd give it a glance. But my focus, my priority is obviously doing this and being here with you guys. So I'll be hoping for Spain. And I think they're the better team. The only thing I would say with Spain is they work like clockwork. Yeah, they're like a really well created machine. Actually, they're just like, you know, like a metronome. They just, you know, do what they do, and then they sort of, you know, pass around you, break you down, get goals, but they don't get many goals. And the problem for Spain is if you're winning, you know, 1-0, 2-0. and you get into those final stages, Messi magic can unlock any team in the world. And if in the 80th minute, Argentina are throwing everyone forward and Messi is doing Messi things, and Spain are only 1-0 up or 2-0 up, Argentina are not out of this game. They are never out of the game until that final whistle blows. So the Spanish downfall is that they're beautiful, they play really well, but are they going to be able to, like, you know, score enough goals to be far enough ahead? Are they going to be able to just, you know, play and keep Argentina at bay and Messi at bay and, you know, protect a 1-0, 2-0 lead? I certainly don't think Spain are going to panic like England did and just all get on the flipping goal line. They'll just continue playing their game, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be really... I can see Spain winning. I can see Argentina trying to come back. I could see Messi creating some magic. It could end 2-1 Spain. Maybe it's just going to be too difficult to score a couple past Spain. Messi magic might get one, but I won't be shocked if it's like 2-2, goes to extra time, and, you know, Spain starting getting dragged into the deep waters. It could be a really great game, you know. It could also suck. So I'm going to go Spain. I'll be rooting for Spain. I think Spain get it done. But listen, Messi and, you know, what he's able to do. Could it be a case that he brings it home for Argentina again? You wouldn't rule it out, would you? You wouldn't rule it out. You'd be a fool to rule it out. Second, Nick Aldis is going to whoop Gunther. After what we saw last night, Aldis has to win. Hope keep him well. Jackal, shout out to you, my friends. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Okay. Daze, hope you're well, says Kian, and having a good weekend. I turned 23 yesterday. Oh, happy birthday, my friends. I had everything I wanted. Amazing. I thought that Saturday night's main event was okay, and I can't wait for the finals tonight. Very good. Yeah, I thought it was better than okay, actually. I thought that Saturday night's main event was like a double thumbs up for me. When I tune into a show, I want to feel like it was worth tuning into. So, you know, I always think, like, what's my thumbnail, because genuinely I've watched Raws and SmackDowns where I don't know the answer to that. And so even just getting new tag champs was a positive, because straight away I can see new champs, Fatal Influence posing with the belts. You know, that's a headache done for me. And it also is a reason to tune in, because Fatal Influence could have a really good run with those tag belts. So I thought the match was okay. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't anything special, but we got new tag champs. Obviously, that makes, you know, what next for Brie and Paige a bit more interesting. I think Fatal Influence are definitely a group worth investing in. So even match number 1, I'm like, yeah, good. Felt like this was worth tuning in for, right? Then we went to match number 2, the Danhausen stuff. It's going to be subjective. Some people think it's silly and it's not for them. I think it's watchable. I think it's fine. You can have a bit of a laugh with it. Maybe I'm just a bit too old for it now. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bit too Knicks focused this time around. I mean, you know, you bring a basketball player out and people tell me his name's Cat and we're in Madison Square Garden. I mean, you get it. I get it. But I've never seen this person before. So he has no aura or star power to me. He's just a tall bloke in a basketball jersey. You might as well have got him off the street, right? So, yeah, perhaps that's where it sort of fell a little bit short. I enjoyed it when it was the Mini-Housens more, and, you know, like that was more fun for me. So I was not offended by it. It didn't blow my mind. It didn't, you know, but it was fine. Then we went to match number 3. Bayley Lyra was fantastic. A lot of you saying it was your favorite match of the whole show. You really enjoyed it. I agree, and I think Lyra's work is fantastic as well. So, you know, again, I could see snapped, like, you know, and then a picture of Lyra being crazed. I do think thumbnails, because thumbnails to me are like the talking points, you know. And I thought that Lyra Bayley was a great match. Some people under the impression Bayley's done. I think there's been maybe a bit of chatter about that, but I mean, Sean Ross Sapp saying she's got like 5 months, like it's the end of 2026, early 2027, her contract's up. So I don't expect Bayley to go. I'm totally expecting this to be a feud that carries on. So I'm not sure about like where the chatter has come from. This is her last appearance. I'm not seeing any confirmation of that, so it's probably just some chatter. So whatever. But anyway, I expect this to be a feud. Good though, really good match. The broken nose. I don't know if it's broke, but it, you know, looked pretty busted. That is obviously adding to things. And then you've got that main event. I love the pace of that main event. I thought that was really good. Nick Aldis getting involved was great. Obviously we can get excited about where we're going with that, and yeah, I mean, nothing felt like it was a chore to watch or a drag. Even the Danhausen stuff, which I wasn't like blown away with, was fine. It was watchable. There was many of you that had a great time with it. I was not offended by it. I suppose the down was the final part. It just felt too long, way too long. I mean, I get it, but like, oh my God, that could have been 10 minutes. Instead, it's like half an hour. I mean, they start the whole stuff like with 20 minutes to go, 18 minutes to go. We're still faffing around 10 minutes after. The show was like meant to end, or I believe was meant to end. So, I mean, the whole thing's like half of that. That could have been so much shorter. So much shorter. I mean, it's all right if you want to do it. It was a way of getting Roman on the show. It's a way of getting Seth on the show. So again, I wasn't like really down on it. But yeah, that was probably the low point for me. And it was a shame it was at the end, because it just leaves like a bit of a taste in the mouth when actually ending with Nick Aldis could have been better in my mind. Maybe we should have opened with Roman, Seth, and all of that. Got it down to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then ended with Nick Aldis and all of that. But whatever. So yeah, it's a big thumbs up from me. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good, worthwhile show, and yeah, good. So I'm glad you enjoyed it as well, and yeah, we'll see how good the finals are going to be. When is it? I need to have a look, don't I? World Cup final. What time is it? It's today at 8, so it starts in 2 hours. So 2 hours. I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. I was going to go to bed and have a nap after this stream, so I might still do that. I might catch the end of it. Hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well, buds. Said the NBA stuff last night ruined a perfectly good show. Please, WWE, keep it to wrestling. Hope you're doing well, Dave. I am a famous ladies man guy. Love this name. Daze, I'd like to see an NXT Evolve LFG Legends Future Greats on SummerSlam cards, since they're going to be in Minneapolis for 2 days. You mean like a stand and deliver? Yeah, I would like to see that. The only thing is, this year we moved stand and deliver away from WrestleMania weekend. I believe we did it the weekend before. So I can't remember if there's a big NXT show coming up, actually. I think there is, but I think it's after SummerSlam. Let's have a look, shall we, and see what's on the sketch. We've got... Yeah, NXT Heatwave is August 30th. Nothing listed before. There is a AAA show coming up, but nothing listed before. So SummerSlam on August 1st, 2nd. And then you got to get to the end of the month. It's NXT Heatwave. Then it's Sunday night's main event. They're not doing the Saturday. They're doing the Sunday. Not sure why. That's on September 6th. Then we've got Worlds Collide September 26th, which I think might be like NXT AAA type thing. And then we got Money in the Bank October 10th. So there is a big gap in September. I mean, that's quite a gap, actually. At the moment, we've got to go from SummerSlam in early August to Money in the Bank October 10th. And there's only a Sunday night main event in between in early September. So there's got to be a PLE that's dropping. So, yes, there will be a NXT show that comes. I don't know that LFG will be part of it, though, or Evolve. I think that's too far down the ladder. They don't really carry much in the way of star power. The LFG show doesn't get many views, to be honest. Evolve doesn't get many views. So I think they're focused more on NXT and AAA and showcasing those talents. So I'm not sure that you will get that. I'm trying to think if you'll ever get it, but I don't know. That talent is still learning on LFG and Evolve. You might get like some Evolve matches. You know, like the championship being defended for the real top end of people that are yet to make it to NXT. But I think a lot of them are still sort of learning, finding their feet. And so I'm not sure you would want to put them on a big show like that. Trini said there was a lot of nonsense. I'm not going to bother to list facts like on Wikipedia. Have a nice day, says Trini. Trini, I hope you will. Joshua, hello, said Daze. How you doing? Doing all right, buds? Sorry about not doing the opinion comment last night. It's always there if you want to take part. You don't have to. It's not mandatory, so no problem. I was at Pro Wrestling Revolution. I was shocked when Nick screwed Gunther. I was watching the highlights last night. Yeah, it was a good moment. Really good moment. And it's probably something actually that we should take into consideration, the fact that we do these Saturday night's main events and we do these matches and we do these moments, and actually sort of acknowledge that they are moments that have been taken out of SmackDown and out of Raw. If it wasn't for Saturday night's main event, we'd probably still do these moments and matches, but they would obviously be on Raw and SmackDown. So I'm not going to say this is why SmackDown in particular is struggling this year. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that it is taking away from Raw and SmackDown because these are moments that would have took place on those shows instead. So they're having to try and book really great Raws and really great SmackDowns and really great Saturday night main events and PLEs. So, I mean, they have got a lot on their plate, in all fairness. So I thought it was a good show. Yeah, I'm with you. The Nick Aldis moment was really, really fun. I enjoyed it. It seems like most of you enjoyed it as well. There's been a lot of people talking about what next, is it leading to a match and all of that. We think so, but there's no word on the street about it. So, but we think it's going to go to a match at SummerSlam. I think it will be a really, really fun match as well. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, Joshua, shout out to you, buds. Dave said, no Messi hate. He is the GOAT. William said, Daze, are we doing 2 Screwjobs Cup final special? Oh, you're doing it. Okay. There you go. If you want to join the Screwjobs, if you want to go over to William and Dave's podcast, then you can join them for the World Cup final. So, very good. I hope you have a great time with it. David said, Daze, I hope everyone in the community is having an awesome Sunday. God bless. Shout out to you, David. Yes, I hope everyone's having a good day as well. For those just joining us, we've just been chatting away, answering some thoughts, questions, bits and bobs, but talking figures, just pretty chilled. It's a Sunday. Yeah, we've been having a little bit of a chilled time, but we're here for the SummerSlam Kickoff Show. We don't know what to expect. I have not seen any preview. I do not know what superstars are being interviewed. The only thing we know is in the description, it says Michael Cole is going to do some exclusive interviews at Fanatics Fest with WWE superstars. And this is the official branded SummerSlam Kickoff Show. So I don't know if they'll do another one closer to the time. They probably will. I hope they've got something planned, something that creates a bit of noise, a bit of buzz. It's not hard to sort of grab some superstars and follow up on what went down yesterday. It's not hard to get Lyra on this thing, or Gunther on this thing, or Punk and Cody on this thing, or Roman and Seth on this thing. That wouldn't be difficult. I think most of them are at Fanatics Fest anyway. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know as to, is it just going to be bland and boring? Are they just going to interview a few people and they're just not really going to say anything? Or will there be a talking point that comes out of this? Is this going to be one of those things where, tomorrow people will be like, did you see what happened at the SummerSlam Kickoff Show? Which is the reason why we're here. It's basically FOMO. It's basically fear of missing out. That's why we're here. So, yeah, that starts in 23 minutes. It is on YouTube. At the moment, it's about 500 people waiting. And it starts, as we said, in about 20 odd minutes. Robbie said, Daze, the Bailey leaving speculation started because of Mercedes posting a graphic of her and Bailey facing off at WrestleDream in response to a fan who asked who she would like to face in the future. Well, that is, classic wrestlers using social media to generate some noise. Matt Hardy does it all the time. So, if it's not that there's been a report out that, there's been talks and stuff like this, if it's that, then I'd say that's people massively jumping to conclusions. I know that Sean Ross Sapp came out and said her contract's not up for months and months and months. End of the year, early 2027. So I just don't. This just seems like a non-story to me. So I totally expect this to be a feud. I totally expect it to be that she likely will face Lyra at SummerSlam. I think they should. They certainly seem to be invested in this story. I hope it's something that carries through to SummerSlam and it doesn't just happen on like a go-home show or something like that. I think that this would be really good to have as a singles match. We got the time. We got 2 days, haven't we? The Saturday and the Sunday. So good. I hope that. I hope this is the start. Actually, I hope this is the start of us using Bayley the way that we want to see Bayley be used. Because I don't want her in the tag division anymore. I want her as a singles wrestler. I want her chasing after championships, having regular matches, putting on great matches. I mean, still one of my favourite women's matches of the year is her and Flammer in AAA. I always go back to that match. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. So, you know, Bayley has still got it. No way is she washed or it's over or it's done or we need to move on or no way. I'm still fully on board the Bayley hype train. So hopefully this feud is going to be something that runs for a while. Hopefully it's going to be satisfying. Hopefully we can move her on to something else. Get some momentum going. Hopefully they've made us some promises. We've got plans for her next year, WrestleMania. I don't believe she's re-signed a deal, but hopefully we get that deal re-signed. Hopefully we get a lockdown and she re-signs and we do have some plans, and 2027 is going to be a good year for her. So that's what I'm hoping. I don't know. It could go completely the other way. You know, it could be that she's made her mind up. She doesn't want to re-sign. And it could be that this feud will be her final feuds, because by the time it concludes, you know, it could run all the way through to Survivor Series. And, you know, the women's team could be baby faces and heels, Bayley on one side, Lyra on the other. We could do that at Survivor Series. And then afterwards, she goes away for a bit because they've got nothing else planned, and then her contract expires. So that would be the nightmare scenario. But the more positive scenario would be that we, you know, tell her about plans for next year, get some good stuff in place, manage to get her to sign an extension, stick around, and, you know, we actually do some good stuff with her next year. Kader said, Aldis is younger than Pierce, which I found out recently. I thought they were around about the same age, says Kader. Louise said, I'm doing okay. I got my own art studio. It's an amazing adventure. I'm going to SummerSlam and I'm engaged. Louise Kane, shout out to you. Many congratulations. Double congratulations. Going to SummerSlam and being engaged. Winning 2026 proving to be a very good year for you. Bobby said, Daze, we know that Aldis will not be a full-time wrestler, but do we think that a belt could be put on him, like a mid-card belt? Yeah. He could. I think for me, you know, I think this is where we just need to have that clear rule. For me, if you defend the belt every 30 days, even if you just have one match every 30 days and it's a title defense, I can live with that. I think as a champion, your obligation is to defend the belt every 30 days. I do not think it's asking for much to have 12 TV title defenses. I'm not really going to count house shows, but 12 TV title defenses minimum for every belt, I don't think is too much to ask. You can start getting into the weeds of, well, what if you do 2 in 2 weeks? Does that mean you get 6 weeks after? Blah blah blah. You know, how does it all work? And you know, you start getting in the weeds and all of that. But I think for me, let's not complicate things for the sake of complicating things. Like 30 days, every 30 days, title defense. If he can do that, I'd be fine with it. If we start getting to the point where he's been champ and it's been 60 days and he hasn't defended, I think you can understand people are going to have their complaints. Even if he is a part-time wrestler and we know he's not full-time, he's still holding up the division in a way because, there's a belt not being defended. So, I mean, I think he would. I think he would defend it, if you did put a belt on him. But I don't know. I feel like we're running a little bit. I get people asking what's the end game. But, he hasn't even been confirmed he's having a match yet, and we're already putting mid-card belts on him. So I get it, but I'd also say let's, with this, maybe just focus on, the Gunther match. Where does that go in regards to, do we do the match? Is there a stipulation? Is it his retirement match? I mean, it could be that Gunther says, I'm going to beat you at SummerSlam, and, you'll promise you'll never wrestle again if I win or something. I mean, it could be that this is Nick Aldis deciding that he's going to retire. Then any talk about belts might be completely irrelevant. So with this one, I think I'm more interested in the short term than the long term, because I don't know, this could be one and done. It could be one and done. The guy has not wrestled for years and years and years, and now he's coming back. So, could he get to a mid-card? Sure. He could. Will he? No idea. I have no idea if this is one and done. It could be one and done, couldn't it? It could be that we're going to feed another retirement to Gunther, the career killer who retired John and retired AJ Styles, and it could be that Nick Aldis is the next victim of that. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's shows. Maybe we get a bit of an update on here. I mean, it'd be good actually if Nick Aldis was interviewed. That would be interesting. I think there's a couple of people you could interview that I think would be quite interesting on this show. Gunther would be interesting. Nick Aldis would be interesting. Cody and CM Punk have got a bit of heat after yesterday. That would be interesting. Sammy would be really interesting. I'd want to know what Sammy's saying after being screwed yesterday. So that would be quite interesting. So there's a few stars coming out of... Brie and Paige would be interesting to a lesser extent. What next for them now that they're not champs? So, I'd be interested to know kind of where we're going with that. Danhausen could be interesting. Maybe he could tease what he's working on. There is still some monster that he's trying to bring to life. So that feels like it's going and heading somewhere. Maybe that pays off at SummerSlam, and perhaps we can start teasing the arrival of that at SummerSlam. So, that could be interesting as well. Maybe a legend could be interesting, if we had Undertaker or someone and we just asked them what they thought about what's happening at the moment, and, maybe they could provide a bit of star power. I think there are legends at this Fanatics Fest, but we could be getting a bit carried away there. I'm not sure they're going to go quite to those lengths, but there could be some interesting stuff on this show. Dave said, what next for Sammy? Yeah, that's a big question. I don't think Sammy's going to know, to be honest. He's probably going to want to get, he's probably going to want to have it out with Nick Aldis. He's probably going to get added to that championship match. But I do think Johnny is interesting here because we keep seeing Johnny each week with Sammy. And it's got to be built into something. So, Candice said to Gunther, don't ruin this for us. There's clearly a bond, a connection between Candice, Johnny, and Sammy. If he's completely out in the cold, there's probably something there. So I think it'd be something that weird like that, but don't know. We'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. Larson Designs, shout out to you. Trini, shout out to you. There are quite a few wrestlers not being used right. Bailey, Johnny, the list is long, says Charmaine. Yeah, I agree. I think that, but I think it's also natural. We have this conversation a fair bit where people come in and sort of complain about various wrestlers. But the truth is you're always going to have more wrestlers than TV time. And that's right. Because you've got to, be ready for injuries. You've got to sort of rotate. I think where for me, it kind of crosses a line Bayley's been getting fairly regular TV time. It's just what they've had for her has been flat. You know, she's just been shoved with Lyra in that women's tag division. Been getting some backstage moments and the odd match. But I agree. I mean, it's not been very exciting. But the truth is they haven't really had anything more exciting for her. But seemingly now they do with this feud. In regards to, like, Jordynne Grace, I think that's valid. I don't know what's happening with her. I mean, we haven't seen her in quite a while. I don't know that she's injured or anything. It could just be they don't have anything and it's just she's stuck in catering right now. So, I mean, it could be that. But, so, yeah, I get the criticism that Johnny has been frustrating. But again, it's just a lack of creative. It's more wrestlers than TV time. And so the truth is people are going to miss out. It is a shame when it's the same people repeatedly. But I'm feeling confident that, like, we're doing something with Johnny. And I'm feeling confident that, like, Bayley's moved on to something better now with Lyra. So, I mean, there's definitely improvement there. And Jordynne Grace is the one that, for me, kind of is a head scratcher. I don't know what Ivy Nile fans are feeling. They're feeling Creed Brother fans. You know, if there are any Ivy Nile fans or Creed Brother fans, you are allowed to be upset. You are allowed to complain because, you know, they are just completely lost. So, yeah, I get the frustration with, like, those people. But it's hard, man. It's really difficult. You've got, you know, SmackDown's been 3 hours. It's now 2 hours. People are going to miss out. Like, the show has got even tighter now. The roster's not got smaller, but the show has. So you've lost a whole hour. So, you know, this is unfortunately going to be a situation where not everyone's going to make it. I'm actually all right with it, though, because I'm old school in the sense of when I used to watch Raw and it was an hour long, there was loads of people that never made it. You didn't see everyone every week. And I'm fine with not seeing everyone every week. Like, it's really not a problem. The problem is that we just don't have the house show schedule that we used to. You know, back in the 90s, you wouldn't see everyone every week. But that was fine because they were out there doing house shows. They were still out there entertaining. Whereas now, if you're not on Raw or SmackDown or, you know, main event, you're probably not doing anything. You probably, you know, I mean, there's no other shows for you to really appear on. We do tours occasionally where we do like house show circuits. Like a European tour, or they're going to South America, or they've just done a bit of a summer tour. In fact, they might still be doing a bit of a summer tour. Not sure, but there's not loads of dates. There's not loads for people to do so. That is a difference, in all fairness. So, yeah, there's definitely people not being utilized. I think for me that's fine. It just becomes a problem when it's, you know, over an extended period of time, like the Creeds, like Jordynne Grace, like Ivy Nile, so on, so on. Miss Dell Jr. said, when people say they hate celebrities in wrestling, does it mean they hate every celebrity, even celebrities in the 80s and the 90s, or do they hate celebrities in general? I don't know. You'd have to ask. I think it's a case-by-case basis. So you'd have to ask everyone individually. So for me, I'm not a fan of celebrities wrestling. There will be exceptions to that, but and again, that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. But the general thing I see is, you know, Jelly Roll coming in and being set up for a match, a tag match or something. I'm not really interested in that. Snooki coming in and being in a match, I'm not really interested in that. Bad Bunny coming in, and you know, I'm not interested in that. Like, I don't have any interest in seeing these people compete. There might be an exception if you've got some celebrity that's maybe you can't really have a one rule fits all type thing, because there might be a celebrity that kind of comes in and works with WWE over a period of time that's, you know, doing interviews, backstage segments, things like that. We like them. You know, they're always really positive about wrestling. And then one day someone attacks them backstage and it leads to a match. They lose the match, but they want to stand up for their dignity. I mean, to be honest with you, a story like that would be hard to hate, because for me, the celebrity is not just... I think what it comes down to is celebrities seem to want to do wrestling because it looks like a bit of fun and it seems like easy. And I'm going to do a people's elbow. Do you know what I mean? It's like they just think they can get in there and do it. I think it's so disrespectful to wrestling, to the years of training that it takes to be a wrestler, to just think I'm going to get in there and do a match. It would be the equivalent is like going to Wimbledon thinking that you're going to, like, you know, play a tennis match and go toe to toe with a top professional at Wimbledon, or you think you're going to get into the octagon and you're going to go toe to toe with one of the top UFC fighters. You know, with wrestling, because it's scripted and, you know, we're not really hurting each other, we can get away with people from the outside coming in. But still, to me, it's disrespectful that you think you can get in there and go toe-to-toe with one of these highly trained athletes. You think that as a singer, you can just get in there and go toe-to-toe with Damian Priest or Gunther or someone. Like, I think you're completely missing the point of, like, what this is. I mean, yes, it's entertainment, but, like, also there's meant to be a legitimacy to it. We're meant to, like, you know, hold these people in high regard because of the skills that they've got. If someone off the street can just do it, you don't need skills. It's not a skilled thing. It undermines wrestling for me. So when I talk about not liking celebrities in wrestling, it's because I see what they're doing. They're trying to put themselves over. They're out for themselves. They're not doing it for the benefit of wrestling. They're doing it for the benefit of them. It seems like it's a bit of fun. It seems like something that, you know, yeah, look, I can do that. You know, I'll do a frog splash to the outside. It's like, yeah, I can do a frog splash. No problem. I could climb up on the top rope. You could do a frog splash. We could all do a frog splash, right? But the optics look stupid. But, you know, if you get in there and you start frog splashing professional wrestling, it'd be like me getting in an octagon and start punching Conor McGregor in the face. If Conor lets me, I can do it. But he's going to have to let me, because if he wants to actually beat me up, he's going to be able to beat me up, isn't he? Just like in wrestling, if Gunther wants to tie a celebrity up in knots, he could do it. So if someone's going to frog splash him, we kind of know he's letting them, and it just looks silly to me. So to me, celebrity matches, I'm just not interested. So that's me, but I can only speak for me. I can't really speak for other people. So it could be different for other people. It could be that if they like the celebrity, they like it. It could be if the match is good, they like it. They only like the bad celebrity matches. So I don't know. It's kind of each to their own, isn't it? Everyone's got their own sort of thoughts. Everyone's got their own lines. I don't mind celebrities in wrestling, but I do draw the line when they want to start wrestling. That, you know, if they want to be at ringside, or they want to do some backstage stuff, or they want to be a guest commentator, or they want to be an announcer, or whatever it might be. But for me, like when they step in and actually wrestle, that's where I draw the line. Word Life Cena fan said, Daze, if Sammy gets a title shot at 43, would we have him win the Rumble or the Chamber? Don't think it matters, does it? I'm not sure it matters. I mean, both would get you a title opportunity, so you could win either. I don't know where they are. Sometimes location makes a difference, but yeah, don't think it matters. Both would get you there. How is Jenny Roll any different to Logan? Logan is a wrestler now, but he was a podcaster, says Faith. Bobby said pro wrestling is so hard, it annoys me when people think they can get in and just do it. That's, yeah, you've nicely condensed. I agree. It is that, isn't it? That's why I see it as a disrespect, because it shouldn't be that people off the street can just come in and do it. So But I understand that WWE want to get the buzz. They want the clip of someone doing a frog splash, someone doing a suicide dive. You know, they want that to go viral. But yeah, I understand. Doesn't mean I have to like it though. Something I am going to like is the fact that this stream is now starting. We are just 2 minutes away and we will be up and running. 500 people were waiting. It's now gone to 1,500. So we'll see what they've got up their sleeve for us as we do this extra bonus stream. I've kind of mentally put aside being here till 8. So that's another hour and a half because I don't know how long this thing is. I don't know if this thing's going to be half an hour or if it's going to be an hour. I don't think it will go over an hour. So I've kind of put another hour and a half aside. Not that I'm really doing anything, but as I said, I might have something to eat, have a little nap. I'd like to get that figure video done, actually. Set some streams up for next week. I need to like create a new TikTok and Instagram and all of that because, you know, and all of that got shut down with like things being taken down. So I like to use Sundays for those kinds of things. So these are the bits and bobs that I've got kind of lined up for this evening after having some food and a little nap, little cheeky nap. If I get a chance, I'll cast an eye over the World Cup final, see obviously who wins, but and see what's going on. But yeah, we're here for this. We're here to see what Michael Cole has got. According to the description, he's going to be bringing us all the fireworks. All the fireworks. So they're literally promising fireworks. So Michael Cole is the host. He's the host with the most. Let's see what this is, shall we? So, okay, I can hear people wooing as we've got the Then, Now, Forever thing playing. So I'd imagine this is playing in Fanatics Fest. Then, Now, Forever. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Here we go. You could hear people cheering. There's Michael Cole talking. We're just seeing the Statue of Liberty right now. Oh, yeah, they're just talking about the World Cup final kicking off in 90 minutes. Just over the river. There's the US Bank Stadium. Your stadiums are so cool. I don't know why we don't do that, to be honest. Must be something to do with needing the light to get to the grass. But, like, you've got lots of enclosed stadiums. You'd think we would, considering the rain. Here's Michael Cole's music playing then. And on the stage at Fanatics Fest, Michael comes walking out. Not a bad crowd. People are seated. So it's not a load of people standing. Everyone's sat down. Are you ready to whet your appetites? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. That means we've got this week after is all the go home stuff. God, it's really not far, is it? In my mind, I thought it was like 3 weeks. So much to get to, says Michael. He wants to start things off with the boss. Bruce Springsteen. Sasha Banks. Oh, no, Triple H. It's Triple H. Triple H is coming out. It's time to play the game. Wow, this is good. He's probably going to tell us it's going to be a new era, and I'm here for that. On your knees, dog. Triple H comes out then. Bow down to the... Bow down to the... Here he is. Microphone in hands. Top button undone. Casual Sunday. You've all seen that guy. What guy? Ah! Oh, look at him. Triple H said, I apologize. I'm starting to let my hair grow, but I don't think you can. It's good. That guy, look at that, dressed as Triple H. He's got a suit on and a sledgehammer. That's good. We need a picture of Triple H with that guy doing the point, and they could point at each other. Triple H said he's letting his hair grow out, but I'm not sure you can. He is, actually. He is. There is a bit of hair coming through. He said, what about the OTC last night and the King of New York? Oh! Gunther on stage. Gunther livid. Gunther upset with Triple H. Yeah. I should be the champion. Look, Gunther going off on Triple H here. What are you going to do? Ooh. Hmm. Oh, Triple H is getting locked in here. You pushed a man too far, says Triple H. Where's this going? Where's this going? Where's this going? Nick Aldis has come out. Nick Aldis has come out. Oh, mate, this is good. This was worth tuning in for. We got Nick Aldis and Gunther going at it on stage right now. Anytime you want to try me. Nick Aldis standing on stage. Gunther on stage. Gunther backing away. Boom! Kick to the midsection. Gunther. Shot coming in. Nick Aldis goes down. Gunther attacking Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis goes down. Triple H on stage. Triple H going over to Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis going back after Gunther. Grabs him. Big right hand. These two brawling away. Triple H calling for security. We've got another brawl. Both of these being separated. I do love how Gunther has gone to Triple H. He's kind of gone over all the GM's heads. Here we go. Make the match. Make the match. Make the match. You want to fight? You got it? You want to fight? Yeah. We get in the ring. At SummerSlam! Here we go! The match is made. It's Gunther, Nick Aldis, officially. It's official. It's official. We need Adam Pearce to come out and say, and that is official. So there we go. The match is made. What a brilliant way to start the show. Bit of a brawl. Match made. Job done. You always want to tune into these for a reason. We got it. Let's go. That was awesome, said Cooper. You called Daze matches made. I think everyone knew. I can't really take the gloating on that. I'll still take it though. Here's Seth, the revolutionary, the visionary. Seth Rollins making his way out. So we've had Triple H come out. We've had Gunther, Nick Aldis match made official. We've only just flipping started as well. We're only 8 minutes in. I genuinely, I don't know if this is going to be like an hour or half an hour. I don't know what we're getting from this, but it could be a half an hour thing. But either way, we've had a little summer, and now we've got Seth coming out. So Seth on stage, all in black. It's a weird jacket that he's wearing. Fans are loving it. Woeing away in the crowds. So they're having fun with his entrance song. Ronnie said, I'm not angry with WWE, but I hate that they've changed wrestling into some gymnastic acrobats. They can't give me weekly captivating TV. That's why I can't wait for NFL or NBA season. WWE is no fun. Mate, I don't know if your timing's too good there. I really just enjoyed what they gave us. Bit of a brawl. Match made. Gunther, Nick Aldis going down at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins comes out. Tyrese Halliburton mention gets boos. It might look like it backfired last night, but we're still talking about what I did last night. Roman is nowhere to be seen. I've been here, though, signing autographs for 3 hours. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the people's champion. If you smell what I'm cooking. Little smile on his face there. You started with the Shields. Yeah, amazing group. Boom. He recreates the Shield chair. The heist of the century. We're just running down some of Seth's great moments. Roman has never beaten you one-on-one in a high-stakes match. Will this continue at SummerSlam? So Seth said he thinks history is going to repeat itself. I do like some of this. We're digging into the history a little bit. The only man to beat Roman in that 4-year run. I do feel sorry for Seth, you know? I do feel sorry for him because, like, this is one of his great brags. This is, like, for me, bigger than a championship for him. Championships come and go, but having never lost in a high-profile match to Roman Reigns, that's a pretty good brag, actually. And it could get thrown away. Or it could end at SummerSlam. Seth said, it occurred to me that me and Roman are not running the same race. Roman was born into a wrestling family. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I come from nothing. Tell you what, the crowd like it. The crowd like it. Seth said he's here for the love of the game. Nothing mind-blowing in there, but it was good, so I didn't hate it. Seth Rollins comes out, talks about his match with Roman, talks about how Roman's had everything handed to him, how Seth does this for the love of the game. Why does Michael think that this is going to be any different? Roman has never beaten Seth in a high-profile match. Obviously, they've got a real high-profile match coming up at SummerSlam. Okay. So we've had a match made. We've had Triple H. We've had Seth. Now we've got Heyman. Paul Heyman. I doubt Brock's here, but we could certainly get Ober. Look at that, kids. That guy's like jumping up and down. Can't believe it. Got some EC dub chants. Not loud. ECW is dead. And I wish the same for Obafemi. I don't know. It's a bit harsh. Heyman's here then. At SummerSlam, this all ends. Here we go. Here's Ober. Heyman was doing his thing. I was admiring his work. Lights go out. Music hits. Camera phones come out. A little bit of a pause there before the music hit. I think they were farming some of the Ober chants. Ober in a t-shirt. It's not. It doesn't look like an Ober shirt though. Oh, starts picking up a bit of speeds. Heyman backs into Michael Cole. Gen Xer said, I enjoyed Saturday night's main event. Shout out to you, Daze. Gen Xer, shout out to you. Glad you enjoyed it, but I thought it was a good show. Thought it was good. Okay, Ober on the mic then. Let's see what Ober's got to say. Hell in a Cell. Who is ready for Hell in a Cell? You haven't even got the guts to stand here whilst I walk out. He calls him a walrus. But now you're a big fat chicken? Yeah, take that. Now you're just a poopy head. Comes to an end. Today you get casual Oba. Oba hugging babies. But come Hell in a Cell, it's going to be Oba eating babies. With a nice Chianti. For me. Couple of laughs in there. Casual Oba. Oba hugging babies. Maybe Mattel could make an Oba hugging babies figure. Crowd are up doing the Oba strut. Connor said, could we actually see Heyman betray Brock at SummerSlam? We've seen that a few times. We could. I wouldn't really be looking for that. I mean, Heyman's a heel. I don't need Oba being a heel. Could be a heel, but he's so over as a face. Oh, hello, Penta. Hello. Coming up next. Penta? Okay, wow. With Club WWE, we're going to take your money. And in return, we're going to give you a lanyard. Right, Club WWE advert. Charmaine said, I like that segment. Alistair said, do we think TKO will change 2 PLE to 3-date PLE? What do you mean, like the weekend thing? I don't think so, because we've got SmackDown on a Friday and we've got Raw on a Monday. So there's not really anywhere to put like a third day. Plus, people are at work on a Monday and a Friday. So I think the 2-day weekend thing works well. I like it. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, like, WrestleMania 35 was long. That was the last 1-day WrestleMania, and it was long. I was exhausted. Probably didn't help that it just wasn't that good of a show as well. Might have been better if it was a decent show. It had moments, definitely had some moments in there. Kofi Mania, for example. But, yeah, I kind of much prefer the 2-day thing. So, yeah, I'm not down. I've heard rumors about Rumble going to 2 days. And there's obviously SummerSlam at 2 days, WrestleMania at 2 days. I don't have no problem with Rumble going 2 days. I don't think they'd take it 3 or anything like that. We've got SmackDown, we got Raw. Kind of makes it an extended weekend. I think it works well. I think it's good for, like, if I went to WrestleMania in America and I got on a plane and I traveled from Europe to America, I'm going to be appreciative of the fact that I get to have 2 kind of days of WrestleMania rather than just the one. I get to go to, for the Saturday and the Sunday. It's obviously an extra boost to the local economy as well, because if it was just the one, people would fly back maybe on the Sunday if they could get flights. So this way it keeps people in the local area, which means they can attract big bids or bigger bids because the economic boost is greater. Obviously, it's better for WWE as well. More chances to sell merch, more ticket sale opportunities. It's great for us, because obviously we get to stream 2 days as well rather than just the one. So, but I think it's good for fans as well because, again, as we said, just a 1-day Mania was quite long. This way you can do 2 days, break it up, 2 main events, 2 opening matches, Yeah, good. I don't really have any complaints with it. The only complaint is that people would say, yeah, but the quality is not as good, which I can sort of understand, but equally I can't understand, because if you was to ask people what the best WrestleManias were, I think a lot of people would put 38, 39, maybe 40, like right up there with some of the best ever WrestleManias. Maybe not the best, maybe not 17, 19, but I think 38, 39, 40, that is a hell of a run. It's fantastic, and all of those are 2-day WrestleManias. I mean, so what if there's the odd dud match in there? Jesus Christ, you can go back to WrestleManias where pretty much everything was a dud match. Did you see WrestleMania 9? Yeah? I love it, but I understand the criticism of it. So I ain't got no problem with a two-day WrestleMania. Sally said, I don't want a belt on Gunther. I just want him to kick Gunther's ass. Gunther finally learns to respect others and keep Aldis as GM. Gunther on SmackDown. Oh, do you mean you don't want a belt on Aldis? You just want him to kick Gunther's ass. Got you. Alex said, Kofi Mania, Seth Brock. They might have been the only things I enjoyed from that Mania. The Fatal 4-Way Tag match was a sleeper on that card as well. There was so many matches. It was so flipping long. I remember we did the watch along for it. I think it should still be up. I remember complaining about, oh my God, this is long. It just kept going and going and going. I must admit, when the next year they took it to 2 days, I was like, considering last year, I think that's a good move. Right, a little bit of an ad break, believe it or not, but we are back. I don't know if this is the final part or if we're now moving into the next half hour. I don't know. Either way, it's Penta. Penta and Chad. Chad should be on this, shouldn't he? Can't see any reason why he won't be. Please welcome the Intercontinental Champion, Penta. Penta comes out on stage. He's got that Intercontinental Championship in his hands. Cero Miedo. Okay, Penta then with a microphone in his hands. He said it's a pleasure to be here with everyone. This is one of the biggest matches of your career. Crowd start chanting Cero Miedo. It's not a great crowd. To be honest, they kind of start a chant. It seems like there's a very small percentage that want to chant and everyone else is just not really wanting to join in. What does it mean for you to defend this at the biggest party of the summer? Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. You're welcome. I'm really excited for SummerSlam. This is going to be my first SummerSlam. Okay, he said he wants to make history, but he's being interrupted. Here comes Chance. Still sounds super AI, doesn't it, this theme? But It's not the worst thing I've heard. It's part of me is like, it's all right, but it is really AI. As I look at you, Penta, right now, you're a man I've come to respect. It is true, isn't it? I mean, that match with Penta really did set Chad Gable on a weird path. Minneapolis is my town, says Chad. SummerSlam is in my home state. I got something to prove to my wife, my kids, to you, and to myself, says Chad. You may go down as the best luchador in the history of this business. Chad Gable is taking that from you. We've had very little build on this, so even though not much is being said, it's still nice seeing these two face to face. But it is very nice because they are both baby faces. Yeah, that's the only down, isn't it? Is they're like, I really respect you. Make the best man win. Because it'd be better if, like, Chad was trying to bring down, like, this monster heel, but it's like... First ever two-night event, that's going to be September 11th. September 13th. That's weird. I still don't get how that's going to work. I'm sure September 11th is a Friday, so... I'm guessing it must air straight after SmackDown. Oh, here's Liv. Liv's coming out. Penta was going to say a few words, but he's decided to leave. Oh, God, now we got to listen to this. Jesus. Okay, we got Dom, we got Liv. Do we think Carmelo's going to get a major PLE with SummerSlam because they're going to want Trick on the cards? Yeah, I think so. He's certainly around Trick, isn't he, at the moment? Could be a triple threat. Okay, I think Dominic's walked off. Michael Cole says, where are you going? And it looks like we're going to commercial break. We're going to commercial break. K-Dub said, this song is so bad. Oh, my God, I know, mate. I know. She was celebrating the fact it's got 1 million streams. I mean, I guess a lot of people listen to it because it was sort of presented as being a music track, wasn't it? There was a whole music video made for it and teased as well. So I'd imagine people probably listened to it because it was sort of presented as a music track. People thought she was going to release an album, and I saw all this chatter. Turned out to just be a new entrance theme. So that probably boosted things. And, you know, there are Liv fans, and I'm sure someone somewhere probably likes it and has listened to it a few times. I've never met that person. I don't want to meet that person, but I'm sure there is that person out there, you know? So it's managed to get to 1 million streams. I saw she was celebrating that the other day. Ronnie said, why did Chad just keep running with the Mexican thing? He didn't have to be El Grande, but he could have continued the luchador thing. He's just like everyone else. Well, the story is a little strange. I don't know if it ended up going the way that they planned, because to be honest with you, I think the El Grande thing, because of his injury, I think the El Grande thing took a massive turn that no one could have seen coming. I mean, when this thing started, there is no way that they thought it was going to be as over in Mexico as what it was. I mean, when he first went to Mexico, he was being billed as being from the Gulf of America. You can imagine how that was going down in Mexico, right? It's only when Ludwig gets his hands on the character and speaks Spanish and shows appreciation for the Mexican culture that, this starts clicking, starts working. The people start really taking to him. And to be honest with you, I think that it was something that the AAA purchase and the opportunity that provided, the fact that Chad Gable has never been someone that I think has been massively high on the radar in WWE. I mean, this is a guy that's yet to win a mid-card championship. So we can say he's a mid-carder, but he's not upper mid-card. He's not even won his first mid-card championship. This is a guy that has traditionally been a tag team guy. He was in American Alpha. He was with Bobby Roode's. Then he got put in with groups like Alpha Academy, and then American Maids. And so, he was really just bobbing around, but they knew he was a great talent. They knew he was a great wrestler. So they told a story about how the luchadors were just really getting the better of him. So he went to Mexico to get some advice about how to deal with Mexican wrestlers. He ended up just getting given a mask, right? Which is what? He got this mask, and then he started acting like a luchador. I suppose the mentality is to beat a luchador, you've got to understand and get into the mind of a luchador. I'm guessing that's the kind of vibe. So he became El Grande. And obviously there was a big opportunity in AAA for him. So he ends up going there, generates some really good heat as well. And then, gets injured. And, who could have known that Ludwig would have took it to the heights that he's taken it to. So I think he does, get distracted, if you will. The injury is obviously a big problem. That kind of takes up a lot of time. But, look, it ultimately it's worked, hasn't it? Because it's led to that mass versus mass match, which is, I think, most people's match of the year. Certainly from a WWE perspective. And now he's kind of done that, and it's kind of, moved him to where he is now. So it's all about, did he get distracted? Sure, but he's on that card at SummerSlam. He's going to put on a banger. He could absolutely leave SummerSlam with that Intercontinental Championship. I think he is, I think he's in a good place. Okay, she was just mentioning the million streams. I know you guys all saw how amazing I looked, and you can thank Dominic for that. Okay, so she's going to be in action against Io at SummerSlam. And now we get some Io chants. Liv doing some good work here, actually. Io. Io has never beaten me one-on-one. Queen of the Ring only happened. The loss only happened because of Danhausen. Everything about this girl is irritating. She was born to be a heel. Okay, Michael Cole wants to talk about Danhausen and what went down last night. I don't even want to mention this stupid Hausen's name. Is he coming out? Oh, we got a Mini Hausen! Mini Hausen runs on stage. And again, Liv trying to hide, Liv trying to get away from a Mini Hausen. Michael Cole asks Dominic, are you scared of this guy? Danhausen's music hits. He's coming out now. Here's Danhausen. Very nice. Very evil. Very nice. That Mini Hausen still running round. I like the Mini Hausens, you know. Sounds like his voice is going a little bit. He's probably been talking all day, hasn't he, with the fans? You don't decide when you deal with me. I decide. You better show up to Monday Night Raw with all of my money, says Dominic. Goodbye, Domino. Goodbye, Olivia. Oh. She's come back. She's getting right in his face here. You're the ugliest man I've ever seen in my life. Oh, she should have said, and I've seen Michael Cole. He could have got hit with a stray there. You're still cursed. Oh, Liv falls over. Now we got a couple of Mini Hausens chasing after Liv. You're still cursed. Okay, lights have gone out. Michael said, is this the point that you're meant to disappear? Okay. That was all right. Fine. The biggest talking point is obviously the match of Gunther and Nick Aldis. But it's been worth watching. It's been watchable. There's been some moments. I don't think there's been anything too crazy, you know? Pretty much the rest of it is what you would have expected, but there's been some fun moments in there. I've enjoyed seeing Casual Oba. And the Mini Hausens coming out. And in fact, I did worry this was just going to be half an hour long. You know, we're already at 41 minutes. So I'm guessing they're going to go through to half past. So, good. I don't feel like I've wasted my time. Big Time said, do we think pricing SummerSlam tickets at $25 is too low? What precedent does this set? Jesus Christ. Are we now going to have people complaining ticket prices are too low? Oh, I can't. No. Jesus Christ. Big Time. Is there anything that can happen in wrestling that's not going to be a problem? Anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Now ticket prices are too low. Oh, my God. Do I think they're too low? No, I don't. I think it's wonderful that a family can take their kids and themselves, goddamn grandparents, pets if they want to, and they can all get inside the stadium and they can enjoy SummerSlam. Do I think ticket prices are too low? No, I do not. I think $25 is absolutely fantastic. If that's where we are with SummerSlam prices, then I absolutely applaud it. I celebrate it. Amazing. Amazing. I mean, honestly, if we're at the point where this is now going to be questioned rather than just straight up celebrated, we've completely 100% lost our flipping minds, right? We don't know up from down. We don't know left from right. We don't know forward from backwards. We are completely lost, if that is even something we're questioning now. What precedent does it set if we make tickets too cheap? I'll tell you what precedent it sets. It sets the precedence of hard-working families being able to afford taking their kids to SummerSlam, which is something I massively applaud, because I didn't have much money when I was a kid. Our family didn't have much money. And, you know, I think it's fantastic that people that, you know, don't have a great deal of money are able to enjoy going to a spectacle like this. All you can do is just applaud it and just be like, oh my God, brilliant news. I mean, I know back in the day, I saw the WrestleMania 9 documentary. Vince always tried, you know, for all of Vince's faults, he always tried to have a section at WrestleMania that was kept cheap for people, you know. There was, in the WrestleMania 9 documentary, they actually showed part of the stands where I think it was $25 or something, so that people could still get to WrestleMania. There was still a cheaper option. You know, even Vince was not maximizing ticket prices and price. I mean, you know, obviously prices went up over time, but you know, even Vince was not trying to completely rinse everyone. So fantastic, brilliant. I massively applaud it. I think that it's brilliant that people can go. I hope if you are going and you manage to get them at that price, that you have an absolutely great time. Jason said, I managed to get floor seats for $20 back in the day. I mean, part of me is just like, this is how it should be, really. For me, pro wrestling is like a cheap form of entertainment. Like, I know that WWE is the creme de la creme, the gold standard, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not it's two people in a ring. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something that plays out in bingo halls around the world. Like, I understand that these are highly trained people and there's a high wage and there's a high production cost, and that's got to get reflected into the tickets. So yeah, I do get it, but I don't know. I do think WWE should make an effort to find a balance and not just rinse every ticket for as much as they possibly can. I've said before, haven't I, countless times, charge what you want for the floor. Charge what you want. Everyone has to pay $100,000. Don't give a flip. But the stands, make them as cheap as you possibly can. The majority of people should hopefully be able to get in for a decent price, an affordable price. And TKO need to make their money, so rinse the people on the floor. You know, I would look at that strategy personally. Right, we're just seeing a video for Fanatics Fest. We're just seeing all the superstars that have appeared and met fans. We're back with Michael Cole. Michael said he wants to thank Fanatics Fest. There's still plenty more to come from this weekend. Not for us. Feels like we're moving into maybe the final part of this now. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. We have already done Roman Seth and we've done Ober Brock. The American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes makes his way out on stage. Here we go. The American Nightmare coming out. Phones out from the fans. Okay, Cody on stage. It's not much of a walk, to be honest. The music hits and like literally 5 seconds later he's standing there looking at the fans. So got to wait a while for the woe. There it was. I think that's what they were waiting for. Okay, we got Cody and Michael. Cody chants. Fanatics Fest. New York City. What do you want to talk about? There's plenty, says Michael. Okay, we got some Cody chants ringing out. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Okay. Michael says, you've done about everything you can here. You did that podcast. Roman kicked a 40-yard field goal. Let's have a look. Let's see what Cody did. So Roman did 41 yards. Oh, that didn't go well at all, did it? That didn't go well at all. They've done him dirty there. Did Cody know he was going to have to talk about this? I have no excuse, says Cody. We got some breaking news. Here we go, about Fanatics. He's retiring. He's retiring from the Fanatics games. Well, there you go, Michael Cole. How do you feel about that? You've shamed him into retirement now. We've got to thank you, Cody. People are chanting, thank you, Cody. One more games. One more games. One more games. Games forever. Games forever. Oh, they're chanting it. One more games. One more games. Is he coming out of retirement? He's coming out of retirement! Yay! Oh, man, people are on their feet applauding. I want to be in this crowd. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh my God. Was you there for the Cody retirement? when the crowd just wouldn't accept it and dragged him back out of retirement. Oh, man, you had to be there. It was so good. Welcome back. Welcome. Very good. Right, this is that moment that I didn't see. This is CM Punk catching Cody with the belt. Now, does he do it on purpose? Arm up. Yeah, he does. He does do it on purpose. He kind of flips it over like that, doesn't he? He kind of even leans into him to do it as well. They're just showing the confrontation, or talking about it, that happened after. I'm your friend, says Michael. That's nice. Michael says you seemed irrational? I'm embarrassed by what happened, says Cody. No, Cody, he leans into you. I mean, that's the first time I've seen the clip, and he very obviously does it on purpose. He should have stayed retired. Here's CM Punk. CM Punk's music hits. I think creatively we've gone down the wrong path here. Cody's sort of saying like he's watched it back, he feels a bit embarrassed now. I don't share that. CM Punk comes out. Is he going to do it again? Look at that CM Punk, baby. Oh, cult of personality. It's not a problem, but it is weird that like it takes them 5 seconds to come on stage and then they have to just sort of stand there and let the music play a little bit. CM Punk chants. Okay, 55 minutes into this thing. You guys enjoying yourself at Fanatics Fest? It's good to see you all. What do you want to talk about? Baby Punk! Baby Punk! Baby Punk chant. Michael said he's going to break the ice. It is a bit tense. Where's this going? A regrettable incident that shouldn't have been on camera, says Punk. It's embarrassing. It's no big deal. What was that? Why are we trying to make such a thing out of this? Let's just move on, said Punk. I'm not apologizing for it. You're not my brother. I'm done with this brother thing. You're not my brother. You're still mad. John Cena stabbed him in the back. Randy stabbed him in the back. I'm not going to stab you in the back. Yeah, but you did flick that title in his face. Ooh. Don't talk to me about ego, says Cody. I don't want to hear any of this ego BS. Starting to get a bit more heated now. Triple H has had to come out. The belt has gone down on the ground. Triple H has come out. It's just getting a little bit... You know what I mean? Last night was an accident. I apologize. But this is on purpose. He shoves him. He shoves him. Puts his hand in his face. CM Punk shoves Cody. Triple H is like, get the mini house. Oh my God, what's this? The hell's going on there? What are these mountain rangers? Is it like the long lost cousins of the Mountie or something? I don't know what's going on. Is this what's this? We're in New York, aren't we? These look like pot rangers or something with their funky hats. What's going on? Is this the Fanatics Fest sheriffs? Does her hat even fit? Her hat doesn't even seem like it goes on her head. It's just sort of like here. Michael Cole says, thanks a lot for coming. Just sort of thanks everyone. Nothing comes to blows. It's probably right that it doesn't. Maybe a little soon. I don't know. We could have lit the spark here. Yeah, it's tricky that, isn't it? Because the... But that was worth watching. I had fun with it. One of my favourite parts is the Cody retirement stuff. But I think with this, they're trying to get a bit of heat in there. And there's lots of ways you can do it. I think the belt in the face thing is a bit silly. But I didn't hate the backstage thing. But then Cody saying that he's embarrassed by that. Like getting so animated over it and whatnot. I was like, oh, he did hit you in the face with the belt. You don't really need to be like sorry about that. I like the bit where he said, "I'm not apologizing," and then of course that was like the spark where it kind of, you know, furthered. Yeah, there's some heat there. There's little flickers. Maybe the reasoning's a bit silly. But, well, at least we've got the fire started now. So when we actually get them, maybe on Monday, in the ring, confronting each other, we could probably, you know, see those flames grow. Rest of it was pretty standard affair. There's not any heat between Chad and Penta. You wouldn't really expect there to be, but there is a backstory. I think we can dig into the fact that it was their first encounter that drove Chad down that road of El Grande. Danhausen still seems to be around Dominic. Dominic made it very clear, I want my money on Monday, so we're going to continue with that. Liv is still cursed. We got Oba, you know, that was fine. We heard from Seth. I mean, it was pretty standard affair, but there was a couple of moments in there. The big thing probably was the open with, you know, Nick Aldis Gunther being made official. I mean, that is a match now. That is what we're doing. So that was probably the big talking point. But it was watchable, and I'm grateful they gave us an hour as well. I thought there was a chance that could have been just like a 30-minute thing. Let's stick around, shall we, for till we get 28 minutes or so. One thing that's never a chore for us is to get into the chat and have a chat. I know people are going to want to watch the World Cup final. Dave in real life and William are apparently doing a little watch long if people want to jump over there. I don't know if that started yet or not, but we'll stick around until the game doesn't start until 27 minutes. So we'll stick around 27 minutes. We'll go. You lot can then go off and watch the game or live your lives. I'm probably going to grab some food and maybe have a nap. Don't know. But yeah, what did people think? Yeah, where are we with that show? Miami Max said, the old wrestling trope that fan fests bring out passion and anger in wrestling. It was the crowd were a bit weird. Some of them were bringing some noise, but there was I think a few there. I mean, I don't know quite how it worked. Maybe there was a few there that just wanted to see the wrestlers and they're not big fans, but it wasn't thunderous in that room with everyone joining in. I think there was probably some people that were just, I don't know, drifted in. What's this about? Should we see the wrestlers or whatever? Good though. I mean, if you was at Fanatics Fest, you'd want to be in that room. I'd want to be in that room. Fanatics Fest does look interesting. If I was, in that part of the world, I'd definitely be interested to go. I don't know what else you can do. It doesn't look as good as, say, WWE Worlds, because obviously the focus isn't exclusively on wrestling. But still, most of the stars are there. You can do an entrance. There's probably some photo opportunities. And of course, they've done live podcast. A couple, actually. I think Stephanie did one. Cody did one there. And we've had this event as well. So, and I'm sure there's a big shop there as well. One thing I would imagine is at Fanatics Fest is plenty of purchasing of merch opportunities. So, yeah, I bet it's pretty fun to attend. It was a bit awkward at the end, said Charmaine, but a good platform for a build. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't down on it. They could probably do that. I don't think they did this last year. I don't remember watching this last year. So I agree. I mean, you could probably do this every year because I think Fanatics Fest is always around this time each year. So you could always do this each year. That SummerSlam's always going to be around that kind of end of July into August. So this could be an annual thing that we do. Rational Gaze said, another good angle with Cody and Punk. They've done great work since Friday. It's not silly. Remember, Flair, Terry Funk legendary feud started because Flair said Funk did a movie role, said Rational Gaze. Big Time said there's 3 stadiums that are 40 or 50,000 capacity that are 7-8 minutes away versus the 72,000 WWE is going for. They could get 30,000 on a smaller stadium instead of a quarter of it being filled. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where we are with the SummerSlam ticket situation. It's not been on my radar. What I would say is it's SummerSlam. I think WWE are well within their right, what with it being SummerSlam to, and it being Brock's potential final match, Hell in a Cell, Roman against Seth. I mean, why would you not aim for a 70-odd thousand? I mean, you have to book the stadium before you've sold the tickets, of course. So why wouldn't you go for a stadium of that size? I mean, it would have been stranger for WWE to have booked a 30,000 stadium. I mean, what optics does that send? Before you've even started selling tickets, that says to me you're not very confident that you're going to, be able to sell tickets. For me, 70-odd thousand, and, if you've got to reduce tickets down to $25, great. I applaud that. That is thumbs up from me. Taking it, why would you want to go to a 30,000 and get rid of the cheaper ticket options? Why would you want to do that? And if that is something that we're saying we should do, then I don't want to hear any argument about ticket prices. I can do it. I can argue about ticket prices because I think 70,000 stadium with tickets now going down to $25 is brilliant. Do you know, I want the show to be as big as possible, and I want the show to be as affordable as possible. So, fantastic. This is a thumbs up from me, right? I've not seen where we're tracking. I don't know when the tickets went down. I don't know how many we've sold, what the projections are. We might see some shift after doing this, of course. We've still got a couple of weeks to go. Let's get the card, as much of it announced as possible. If we need to sweeten it further, I mean, if we need to, I don't know, pick up the phone to The Rock to see if The Rock can attend, if he's free, just to, make an appearance, potentially make an announcement. I mean, there's levers that WWE can pull. There's legends that we can get. We can always get The Undertaker to do something. So, there's options and things that we've got. But for me, it would be stranger for WWE, because obviously you don't know how many tickets you're going to sell, but you have to have the venue first. It would be stranger to have booked a 30 or 40,000 stadium. That the optics of that would be that you just don't have much confidence in your current product. So they've gone with a bigger stadium. I think that makes sense. Yes, ticket sales are slow. So what do? You either move to a smaller venue or you drop the ticket prices. Seemingly, they've decided to drop ticket prices. I just think that's win-win. I just do not see the issue here whatsoever. Hopefully, we sell more tickets. Hopefully, at a really good price. We get the big full stadium, which optics-wise is going to look fantastic. And we get cheap ticket prices. This is like the best of both worlds. This is just like... This is great. I mean, the only way it would be bad is if we don't see any improvement. I have no idea where we are with ticket sales right now, but I don't even know when the tickets dropped. But if they've dropped recently, then that could be a motivator to shift some tickets, couldn't it? And as we said, there's other levers that we can pull. I'm sure there is panic. I've no doubt that there's panic. If they've, for TKO to drop ticket prices to that level says to me that there is concern. But listen, people complain about not having cheap ticket prices. You've got them now. It would be in all of our interest, I think, if we showed that if you drop the ticket prices, they sell. Actually, it might be a problem if these cheaper tickets don't sell. Because then what you're doing is you're giving TKO ammo and reason to turn around and say, well, we dropped the ticket prices for SummerSlam and they still didn't shift. So cheaper ticket prices don't actually help. So it actually could work against all of us if this does not succeed and if the cheaper ticket prices don't shift. So I'm all for it. Cheaper ticket prices. It's a big thumbs up from me. Charmaine said, I think it would be interesting to let Cody work a bit longer for the belt. I still think there's something a little bit off presentation-wise. I would like to see something different, but I just can't figure out what, says Charmaine. Well, I think, to be honest, one of the things that feels like it's missing to me is a good, interesting, creative, something more outside of just promos and matches. We don't really do a great deal away from the arenas. We don't even do anything much backstage with Cody. We don't do anything necessarily on his bus or around his bus. As a result, you don't really see him in the corridors too much. He's not really just walking around. So a lot of his stuff is matches or promos. And so I feel like there's a whole world of things you could do outside of that. The other problem you've got is that you don't have loads of great heels for him to work with. So, he's just been doing something with not CM Punk, with Sammy. And Sammy's getting interesting reactions at the moment, but he's not technically a heel. I think the Gunther feud was good, so that was a thumbs up. We turned Randy heel But the problem with that is that Randy is so loved that even when he's a heel, there's still going to be plenty of people that just can't bring themselves to hate him. So we were very interested how they were going to build that. And of course, we dropped Pat in and it just ruined everything. So we never really got a good answer there as to what they were going to, you know, how they were going to get people to hate Randy. And now we're in a situation where, again, it's like face versus face. This is Cody against CM Punk. A lot of people are going to be CM Punk, Team CM Punk. So it's really hard. We do not have these monster heels for Cody. We do not have lots of interesting creative for him. It's not like we're doing stuff with Brandy, for example, and bringing her into the story. It's not like we're putting Cody into these really difficult situations of, you know, what decision is he going to make? You know, it's just either a match or a promo, but we're not really putting him in situations where it's like, oh, I can't wait to see what he's going to do, man. What's he going to choose? Like we don't get much of that either. So it just feels a bit flat as a result. And he is obviously very babyface. I know people want to give him a bit of an edge, give him a bit of an attitude. You could definitely flirt with that as well. You know, could he have pushed CM Punk on the stage just? Could he have got in CM Punk's face? It's a fine line where you don't want to be going heelish, but he could have been angry after the way that Punk hit him in the face with the belt. Instead, he comes out and he's sort of like, I feel a bit embarrassed. That stuff to me was like, what? Why are you embarrassed? You got disrespected in the ring by the champion, by someone that you see as a friend. I don't think you should feel sorry or feel embarrassed for having a go at him backstage. I mean, yeah, it's WWE. There's cameras everywhere. We do WWE Unreal. They're constantly filming. This is just constant, like, generating content. So, of course, there's a camera around. There's largely always a camera around. So, yeah, he didn't need to come out and be so pathetic. He didn't need to come out and be so, I am a bit embarrassed by the way I reacted. You know, Michael Cole said, I think you, what was it, like, blew things out of proportion or whatever. Like, what the hell are you on about? Who asked for your opinion? Right? I was kind of, you know, having seen the clip, I was kind of with Cody. So I just think it's these bits which, you know, no great heels, not doing like really interesting bits, Cody being a bit meek. I think it's maybe these bits that kind of combine into, you know, kind of being what it is. So I don't know that it is just one thing, but I think there's a few things that you could tweak and change that would probably make a difference. Word Life Cena fan said, do we think that Gunther Nick Aldis will be one of the free matches on ESPN2? Don't know, to be honest. Probably not. The reason why I say that is because I think they want those free matches to be either really exciting, like ladder matches, things that's going to really get people to want to tune into the rest of the show, or really good star power, where, you know, at WrestleMania, we opened with Brock and Oba, you know, and we actually got the show started with that. So I think you either want to go with really big stars, and I don't think Nick Aldis ticks that box, and I don't think Gunther really ticks that box. So, you know, a Becky Lynch would tick that box. I think, didn't we open a WrestleMania with John Cena and Austin Theory? And we opened with, I think, was it Seth and Brock back in the day as well? Like, big star power to kind of open the show. We opened SummerSlam, I think, last year with Roman and Jay taking on Braun and Bronson. So we had Roman open up SummerSlam. And then it ended with Seth cashing in that night on Gunther and CM Punk. So I don't think Gunther Nick is ticking the all action, oh my God, this is crazy box. I think it'll be a really good match, but I don't think it's ticking that sort of ladder match box. And I don't think it's ticking the star power box, to be honest. So for me, it's probably not meeting the criteria for the first hour. I think it probably sits a little later in the show. Chris said, I'm pretty sure they just dropped the tickets prices today with a promo code. I'm definitely here for the low ticket prices. I can't see anyone having a problem with that, but I guess we do, says Chris. Well, I don't know if people do. I would hope they don't. I certainly don't. Big Time said TKO and WWE have been humbled because Shapiro last year was saying tickets are only going to get higher, but now they've been backed into a corner. Well, I mean, if you're going to make a comment like that, then you potentially are going to get humbled at some point, because you're always going to have shows that aren't going to sell, certainly in this climate and this economy, and certainly with how things are getting more competitive. I mean, the World Cup ticket prices have been extortionate, and food prices continue to go up. And there's, obviously the Iran conflict, which has driven up gas prices. So I don't know what these companies are thinking. They're just sort of under the impression everyone's got unlimited funds where we can all just spend crazy amounts of money on tickets, and obviously we cannot. So, I mean, that was always going to come back to bite him in the backside, because, I mean, you don't know what's happening with the war in Iran. That situation could worsen. The economic pain could get even worse. And with food prices going up, gas prices going up, people's rent and, the interest on their mortgage payments, all of this stuff, car tax, all of this stuff just constantly getting more expensive. There is going to be more and more people that are going to be struggling to have that disposable income to purchase tickets to a luxury. I mean, wrestling is a luxury. It is not a necessity. It's a luxury to go and watch wrestling. You're not going to be able to cut back on food. You shouldn't be cut back on food, and you shouldn't be cutting back on drinks, and heat, and getting to work. These are things people have got to purchase, but you don't have to purchase wrestling tickets. And so it was a dumb comment. It was a stupid comment, because you can never guarantee that every show you're going to put on is going to be selling out, and you can never guarantee that you're not going to have to be dropping ticket prices at some point. So, I mean, it's happened for SummerSlam. We know that the WrestleMania tickets were slow. It's not something that bothers me. I think that you could make an argument. It's a reflection of, the wrestling quality, the landscape of WWE. But I think you can also make commentary on the fact that it's a reflection of where ticket pricing has gone too high, and it has just really turned people away. But I think you can also make an argument that tourism has been down outside of the World Cup. Tourists going to America for whatever reason is down. So, there's maybe an argument that America is not attracting the same level of tourism that it was. And that could be having an effect as well. I think there's a few different factors that could be having an effect as to why the ticket sales have been slow. And I would not ignore the fact that a lot of people are feeling very disconnected with the product at the moment. I think the SummerSlam card looks good, but you can't just put on one good card and expect people to just all come back in their thousands. This could be a reflection of the frustrations of 2025 and early to mid 2026. Even if I think Raw has been doing well since WrestleMania, and I think the SummerSlam card looks good, and I think SmackDown is doing about as good as it's done all year, and I think it's definitely benefited since it's gone to 2 hours. For me, I think that we're in about as good a place as we've probably been in about 18 months right now. I feel about as excited about WWE as I have for quite a long time. I think WWE right now is doing okay. I would say it's fine. It's okay. I do not share the doom and gloom. I think there is obviously room for improvement. I think there is room to bring new stars through. But I also think that we've been in a much worse place than where we are right now. And we're just coming off the back of what was a pretty well-received Saturday night's main event. Raw continues to get pretty good reviews from people. And SmackDown still not setting the world on fire, but nowhere near as bad as what it was. So, yeah, I'm not stupid. I wouldn't say just because it feels like we're in an okay place right now that it's head scratching as to why we're not shifting some tickets. I think, you know, the roosters have come home to roost, or the chickens, or something's come home. And that's probably, you know, the bad creative from 2025 and 2026. But I do think tickets pricing is a factor, a barrier with the current economy. And I do think there could be something in the lack of international travelers going over to America. I mean, when it comes to WrestleMania and SummerSlam, you do get a lot of people from Europe. And, you know, travel from Europe is down. And I think that could be showing itself in ticket sales as well. I don't know by what percentage. We're not talking like 50% or anything crazy, but I think it's still sizable where it could be showing. So there's probably a few factors. So listen, if Mark Shapiro made a stupid comment last year that was always going to come back to bite him in the backside, that's on him. Robbie said Hell in a Cell is likely going to open one of the nights. I don't see it going more than 10 to 12 minutes. Brock hasn't wrestled a match longer than that since WrestleMania 38. I don't know. I think that's interesting. I think that it could go 18 to 20. Certainly if this is his retirement match and this is going to be him just leaving it all in the ring. I think Hell in a Cell, if you say to Brock, look, this is it, main event in Minnesota with Oba, Hell in a Cell, we're going to use weapons, we're going to have some spots, we're going to have some bloods, we're looking to get, say, 15 to 20 minutes out of it. Maybe it clicks in at about 15. I would be disappointed if it was 10, to be honest. I think it should go longer than that. I suppose it depends the pace that they operate at. I suppose it depends what's left in the gas tank. He might empty it out and there just might not be as much there anymore. But I think this should close the show. I think this should close the show. If I was working in WWE, I would be pushing for this to close the show because I think Oba deserves to main event and close the show. I think he is so over. His aura is undeniable. Brock's from Minnesota, so he's going to be, you know, over. He's going to have, like, the crowd. The crowd are going to care. It's Hell in a Cell. I think this is one of the big matches, undeniably. I think it's bigger than Cody CM Punk, personally. I don't know if numbers-wise it would be, but I think it would. I mean, look, Cody CM Punk are two really big, popular stars, but for me, it's a no-brainer. Roman Seth closes one night and Brock Oba closes the other. And you say to Brock, if this is the end, I need you to give me as much as you can because I don't want, like, a nothing main event. He might turn around and go, I just don't have it in me. And, you know, maybe that takes you down a different path. But if I was working in creative, I'd be having words with Brock and I'd be trying to get this to a certain, like, 15 minutes plus, 15 to 20. But if it clicked in at 15, that would be fine. If it clicked in at 12, I'd feel it's a bit light. If it clicked in at 10, I'd be disappointed. Anything under 10, I'd be like, no. I mean, I wouldn't say it too strongly. I'd be like, no, Brock, that's not good. And he'd be like, what? No, I'd be like, doesn't matter. 5 minutes sounds fine to me, Brock. Yeah. If that's all you can do, that's fine. I'm so sorry. But no, I mean, I would like for it to close. Whether it will or won't, I'm not sure. I think I heard people saying it was going to be day one, but I don't know where it's going to sit. Daze, I thought Saturday night's main event in New York was going to be the perfect place to bring back Enzo and Cass with the Danhausen spot. I don't know if they didn't want them connected with Danhausen. It might not be that they want to kind of bring him in and have him around that. They might have some other plans. So I think they jumped the gun as well, actually, in the sense of they sort of told you they weren't going to do it because they showed Big Cass, didn't they? They didn't need to do the Big Cass vignette before Saturday night's main event. But I think for me, showing Big Cass was going to be coming in the day after SummerSlam on Raw was kind of enough for me to not expect them for Saturday night's main event, because I expect them to be together. I expect Enzo to be with Big Cass because that's what the rumor mill has said, is that they're going to be together. So we saw the Big Cass vignette. I think we get the Enzo vignette, and I think they both come back together on that Raw after SummerSlam. So with that knowledge of knowing that Big Cass is coming in on the Raw, I didn't expect to see them at Saturday night's main event. Real John said, Daze, I agree with Brock Ober that it should close, but I really think that they're going to have Punk and Cody close night one. Oh, they could. They could. I don't have an argument to that. It's just going to come down to, whoever makes the decision. There is definitely a chance of that, but for me, I think the Hell in a Cell should definitely close the show. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I have no idea as to which is going to get the nod. I think Cody CM Punk's absolutely in the running. It feels like it's amongst those three. I would look towards the women's matches to find like the next to join that group of potential. I don't think Io Liv is that level personally. And then, the Rhea match, I don't even know what her opponent was going to be, but, Rhea's a big star. Again, with the right build and the right opponent, she could close night one. But she's out. So now we're doing this kind of ladder match 5 women thing. I don't expect that to be a show closer. So, yeah, it's probably pick 2 from these 3. For me, I would go Seth Roman and I would go Hell in a Cell. James said, oh my God, today's our guy Aldis is going to have his first WWE match. Yes, 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 yes. It's about damn time. It's good, isn't it? I'm really pleased for him, actually. I'm really, really pleased for him. I'm really pleased that he's going to have this, because I'd imagine it's something that he really did want. I'd imagine it's something he hoped would get over the line. And here we are. It's happening. And as I said, I'm really, really pleased for him. Right. Scout said, is SummerSlam tonight? No. It's on August 1st and August 2nd. So a couple of weeks to go. So on that bombshell, we are done, right? We're going to go away now because the World Cup final has started. I've seen that a load of people have left us to go and watch that, which I totally understand. A big thank you to everyone that joined us for this. I didn't know what to expect from this stream, or from this show, but I enjoyed it. A little cheeky bonus stream on a Sunday. We are going to be back tomorrow, of course, with Raw. So if you're around, come and join us, share your thoughts. We'll get stuck into more wrestling conversation. Enjoy the World Cup final. Come on, Spain. I'm rooting for you. Right, that's who I hope's going to win. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.